Hello, and welcome to the Sonic Board podcast. I'm your host, DeoxysPrime, and joining me on this special E3 podcast, we have Matt.
Wait! I thought we were talking about anime.
No, you gotta wait another 2 weeks for that.
Oh my god.
What?
We have Matt.
Let's get ready to die.
We have Collin.
Video game.
Yeah, there it is. And we have Funk.
Jewish lesbians.
Oh my god. We'll get there. There's an order to these things, Funk.
There is.
You gotta start at the top, I think. Or maybe you don't. I don't know.
Some might call it chronological order. Nerds and such.
Where did that happen in chronological order?
It was, about halfway through, maybe a little more.
Oh, fuck. It's gonna be like 2 hours before we get the rag on that.
Yep. So yeah, this is our annual E3 podcast where we talk about E3. Shocker, I know. It happens every year. And then
Look, let's not all sound excited as we clearly are.
Well, I mean, there were other people who could have been here. They clearly were not excited enough to join our podcast. We won't name names. They know who they are. So, we have to carry on in their place. So, why don't we start at the top, which was EA. They had a conference. I don't know who else was there with me to see that.
Did you black out during it?
I wanted to. I think Collin was there.
I'm pretty sure I started astral projecting during it.
So
I think I was there for like the first hour of it.
Yeah.
How long was it? First hour. What the
A little over an hour. It wasn't that long. I mean, it felt like forever, and I wanted to die, but...
Did they have Peggle 3?
No, that might have been the most exciting thing if they did.
Well, to be fair, if they did, I'm sure they would try to reference the complete non-reaction that they had with 2, and it wouldn't be as pure, is what I'm saying.
Can't recreate the magic.
No. But I was, full disclosure, I have not seen this conference. So.
Don't bother.
Don't bother. There's literally no reason to at all.
So, by far the worst thing was the stupid shoutcasting on an esports mobile command game. That we had to sit there for 10 minutes watching people play a competitive mobile game, and just these two announcers, shoutcasters, if you will, trying to get us hyped for it and claiming the match was epic. That was you couldn't miss the mark more on how to do a fucking E3 press conference than that.
Did the camera pan to unenthused shots of the audience during
No, that was the only thing it was missing.
No, we'll talk about that later when we talk about Bethesda. But oh my god, the worst part about that was that it was this is a new Command and Conquer game, and it's like a fucking mobile game, and I have no history with this series, but all I know is that pretty much anybody who was a Command and Conquer fan watching that probably was just very painfully dying inside at that segment.
Wait, they brought Conquer back?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Is this going to be an all-night thing with you?
It's always an all-night thing with him.
What?
Yeah, they brought Command back with them.
Command was new, I thought.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
How do we stop him?
Okay. So, EA. It feels like no matter what they do, they get shit. You almost wonder if they do it intentionally, just out of spite, because they hate you.
The thing about EA is that they're a big company, but their biggest business is sports games, and those don't demo well. 2, they don't show all of them. They usually just show FIFA and maybe Madden. And it's just what else do you have? Like they could have shown Star Wars, but they didn't. I mean, they showed a looping trailer of the Battlefront 2 DLC, and then announced the Clone Wars characters coming, but only showed a picture of General Grievous.
Yeah.
They also very begrudgingly apologized for it being complete shit.
Which, they had already done multiple times already, so it's just like, we get it.
It just comes up like...
You already burned that bridge, though. Like, I get they have to try, but like...
on one hand, I appreciate them owning up to their mistake, but on the other hand, it just came off as really pathetic.
I mean, they had to. That's the only thing they could have done.
I guess, but at the same time, it just felt very...
And it's just they go up there and they proudly announce that this game or that game will have no loot boxes. God. This is like it's like McDonald's announcing their salad menu. Like, you put this crap here to begin with.
Oh my god.
Even worse was the quote unquote announcement of Respawn's Star Wars game, which has been in development for years, because a couple E3s ago they showed like behind the scenes footage of, I guess, before they had really started, but they were doing like lightsaber motion capture, and this was back when they got the exclusive license to make Star Wars games, and ever since then the only Star Wars games they have released have been Battlefront. I think the first one was even announced before that deal, so it's like they've done nothing with that license but sit on it and draw these games out, and they canceled the one game, and then they have this one which has been in development for years, and they didn't even show like a picture of a logo. Like, Nintendo gave us a JPEG of Metroid Prime 4, but we couldn't even we had to get some guy try to awkwardly hype up this game by just giving us the title and saying it's going to come next year.
Imagine being so lazy that you just have some random girl meet you in the audience and say, "Hey, so you got a game coming out, huh?"
EA is really bad at this too, because they did the same thing with Mass Effect Andromeda, where like the E3 before it came out, they showed almost nothing from it. It's mostly just behind the scenes stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's usually a sign that development's not going very well. It kind of felt a bit like that with Anthem too. Like, they showed gameplay, but they showed very little of it.
Yeah, they were very, like, a lot of the stuff that EA was doing. It felt very like it just felt very lazy, or like they were trying to like hide it.
They just had nothing to show, or were too afraid to show it, because people played Anthem at the show, like it was playable there.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels like they're clearly trying to hide probably the technical performance of the game, which probably isn't very good at this point.
I mean, it doesn't even look that it doesn't even look terrible.
It looks really, really uninspired. Like it feels like a game that has no identity.
Yeah, like it doesn't look terrible, but it looks like a Destiny clone of all things.
Yeah. You can fly and go underwater. That's a big deal.
That's where you want to start your brainstorming for a new IP. It's like, what if it was like Destiny? That's just a recipe for success.
And I guess we should throw in a little bit of Warzone in there too. No, wait, no, I'm sorry, Warframe, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
It's just a game that like wants to be so many different things, but none of it.
It's completely devoid. It's completely devoid of any self-identity at all.
Even a lot of the setting and the stuff in it is also like heavily inspired by Star Wars. Like they had the big giant fucking AT-AT walker.
Who even cares about like BioWare anymore? Anyways,
I mean, this is probably their last game if it flops. So
they're definitely their last shot. Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of money behind this game, and it just looks like hey, what do people like in video games these days?
Even further cementing their lack of vision for the game. So they came out and said there's going to be no romance option in this game, because that's the first thing people would ask about a BioWare game is, can you romance people? And they said, nope, you can't do that. And then after like BioWare fans flipped their shit about that, they're like, they kind of walked it back a bit and said maybe there'll be romance, maybe not, which would be really out of place for like a Destiny-like shooter.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, like, they want this game to be a success so badly that they're just willing to do anything to appease people.
I just at this
Their
point,
fans want a very particular thing from whatever they put out. So it's like you got to meet those expectations, even if it's going to make your product worse in every way. Anyway, I'm sorry I cut you off, Matt.
No, I was just gonna say I kind of refuse to believe that BioWare fans even exist anymore.
They do.
Okay. I don't know why they keep betting on this BioWare horse here, because BioWare, I know it's basically a completely different company now, but historically, even up to this point, they have not been like that AAA developer you can depend on ever.
Whoa. Are you making fun of Jade Empire?
Yes, I am, because Jade Empire is a piece of shit.
But they got 9.9 from IGN.com.
You fuck off. Mass Effect's great. I'll give them that.
Up until Andromeda. And then it ceased being great. Or actually, probably up until 3, I guess.
I was referring to Mass Effect 1, but I do like Mass Effect 2.
Yeah,
Don't
2
quote
is
me
good.
on that.
Collin, I love Mass Effect 2 Conway.
I've never been able to get into like any of BioWare's games.
I can't even fault you, because they're all garbage to some extent, right? So I like Mass Effect, but I'm not going to say that playing it is a very smooth experience at all.
No, not at all.
You just kind of like, you wrestle for your fun.
Other highlights.
It's just strange that they've tried to turn them into this with Mass Effect 3, Andromeda, and then Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The thing, but their name has the weight of a AAA producing company, even if they aren't one. You know, people recognize the name BioWare.
Mm-hmm. They do.
You can go to a normie and say the new BioWare game, and they'll likely have some idea what you're talking about, which, you know, how many people are going to be like, yeah, it's a new game from Software. I know what the hell that is.
Well, at this point, I would say.
At this
More
point,
now,
you could do that, yeah. Sorry.
I don't know. I mean, Dark Souls is obviously a phenomenon, but I don't think most people would recognize the name From Software.
Phenomenon.
All I know is that BioWare should have just retired after 2007 when they made their best game, Sonic Chronicles: Dark Brotherhood.
There it is.
They're never going to top that, so why even bother?
Steve has never mentioned a year without memeing. I knew some joke was coming.
Oh my god.
Other highlights from the show included people booing the Battle Royale announcement for Battlefield 5.
Wait, hold on, that happened?
Yeah. Like, it wasn't very loud, but like some people who were there said like there were some who were booing that announcement.
That's great. That's pretty funny.
We also got Yarny 2,
Yarny
Chaotix.
2. It's finally here.
Yarny 2, Yarn Huggle.
It's just called Yarny 2, and instead of the number 2, it's just TWO because it's 2-player.
Wait, why does that preclude them from using the number 2?
I don't know.
It might encourage it.
It's an indie game.
Wait, is it Yarny Ready Player 2?
What?
What?
I don't know. We also got some fucking game called Sea of... What was it again? Solitude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some game that the developer came up on stage and talked about and was just like, yeah, this game's about depression.
I kind of zoned her out, and then the game looked weird.
See, that might have been their most interesting game that they showed.
It looked like
just visually.
It looked like it had potential to be somewhat interesting, but
yeah.
Whenever EA has these indie games come up on stage, I just can't help but imagine like behind the curtains, you just see the Mr. Fucking what is that guy's name?
Mr. Saturn?
Are you talking about their CEO, Andrew Wilson?
Yeah, I'm talking about
the Mirror's Edge villain.
Yeah, the antagonist to Mirror's Edge too. I just imagined him like behind the curtains, like with this evil smirk, like just like rubbing his hands together.
See, he wore a sweater this year, so it was very casual. This one.
But yeah, like that game looked interesting, I guess, somewhat, but it's not going to save this. I'm not going to download Origin for it.
Remember that year they came out and announced that Minions mobile game?
That was a thing?
Yeah.
I must have not seen that year.
It was pretty bad. Well, I mean, every year with EA is pretty bad now. Like I said, they just don't have anything to show.
I may have just straight up avoided EA's conference, whatever year they announced that. Or I just blocked it out of my memory.
Oh.
EA should. Well, the thing is, like, they have their show separate from E3 or E3. Like,
yeah, they're not like. I've learned that apparently their show isn't even really part of E3.
Yeah, so maybe that's for the best, but at the same time, it's like you don't need to have a show every year, guys. Just when you actually have something to show. If you got a big game like Anthem, you can just have like Microsoft or someone put it on their show.
Are their investors so? That's what I'm looking for here. Are they so, I don't know, needy that they need this yearly update? I mean, how many other games developers have fucking conferences? What, like 2? Ubi and Square?
Bethesda, but yeah.
And Bethesda.
But that was always the problem with Bethesda. Like, they normally didn't have anything to show.
Right.
Bethesda has a decent amount of stuff under their...
They do now, yeah. But like other years, it was just very thin. And we'll talk about them later. But
EA don't even get me started on that first year.
If you haven't watched EA's conference, don't. Just avoid it.
Imagine what it must be like working at EA and like knowing that you're working for a supervillain.
Knowing that they could just fucking shut your studio down at a moment's notice.
Oh yeah. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's pretty much what happened after Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, that studio...
They opened that studio to make that game, and then the game bombed, and they shut that studio down.
Yeah. And now,
to be fair...
now Mass Effect is on hiatus.
At least that studio put out just an awful product and then got shut down, as opposed to many of the studios that were, doing their thing. Like, they were making good games, they got bought up, they continued to make good games, and then they died.
Right. At least this one was just shit.
Yeah. So I don't have much sympathy for the Andromeda people.
I mean, I don't at all. They just made a bad game.
But the YouTube compilations are pretty golden. Pretty golden. Speaking of which, look forward to E3 2018 YouTube comps. I'm sure those are up now.
Oh boy.
You can see supercuts of everything that we were talking about. You don't even have to watch this podcast. Go watch the supercut. And
how are we going to build an audience when you're literally telling people not to listen or watch?
They'll only hear that if we got their click.
Oh my god.
Once we got the click, it's over. It's donezo.
All right, well, we're done with EA. So let's move on to the next conference, which is Microsoft.
Wow.
Much better than
EA.
So where do you guys want to start with this one? Because they had a lot to show.
Let's start with Forza.
9/11.
Guys like cars.
9/11 engine.
I mean, we can start with Forza. So Forza, if I recall, was this like weird. I don't know if the previous games were like this, but it was like this weird open world thing where like people were driving with each other, but they all kept driving in weird figure eights and circles in an open field for some reason. It's very strange.
It's like
the Forza Horizon games are kind of like that, but yeah.
Like as far as I could tell from the trailer for this, it's basically like you can just kind of drive in a big open world. You'll find people, and then all of a sudden, like a thing will appear. It'll be like, oh, new new race or something, new event is starting, and you all like go to it, and you can like do a race. Like it sounds kind of cool in a I don't know, for people who are into that kind of game. Like it sounds interesting, I guess.
But the thing is that if that's the setup, I'd rather them do that with a Burnout type game, not with Forza.
I can. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know who makes Burnout, so that's not happening.
Unironically, Forza should stay in its lane.
Well, if I owned an Xbone, Forza might be somewhat interesting to me. I might consider getting it, if you guys got it.
But that's always the big question every year. Like,
yeah,
do they show anything that makes you want to buy an Xbone?
They're
Does
getting
such
closer.
a thing exist?
Well, they've been really good at showing a wide collection of games, just not anything that makes picking up an Xbone actually worth it.
Yeah, this isn't a knock against their show, but it's just like they're usually the best place to go if you want to see trailers of games you're gonna buy on PS4
or
PC. They have a lot of the big third-party games, but
even like that, and that's the other thing. Even their like quote exclusives unquote are also on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it feels a little
Windows
disingenuous to talk about how good of a showing Microsoft had, because like we're saying, those aren't Microsoft games. They're just games that happen to be featured at Microsoft first. But at the same time,
you can also fuck up a show anyways. Like
right. And at the same time, that conference is where we got that information. We saw those trailers and the gameplay or whatever it happens to be. So it feels a little bad to talk about if they did well or not. But at the same time, I'm not going to hold that against it.
Yeah, but like just from a presentation standpoint, it was still a great conference.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, the one thing they did different this year was they went on stage and announced they bought a bunch of first-party studios.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was
interesting. That was actually interesting because it basically just it's just them telling you we're kind of still in this game.
They've course-corrected their fucking bad press from the start of generation very well. They're
fired Don Matrick.
Yes, they're at the point now where Sony was with the PS3 making the right decisions that went into the PS4, where they're probably going to have, like Microsoft is probably going to have a really good next console, which will probably come out before the PS5.
Yeah.
So I mean that could be, an interesting conversation to be had then. I just think we're too late in the game, and their best selling point, honestly, to me is like the backwards compatibility stuff. Like that's the draw of the Xbox One. But like,
do you still have 360 games?
I still have mine digitally, which I can't play because I don't have a 360 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wanted to play them, like, it's not a bad option, especially because from what I've heard, they run better. Like they're all made to run better. So, but I mean that's still not enough to get someone to buy an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And still right now, like they're still relying on Halo and Forza and Gears.
Yeah. I'll be honest, they're getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously we didn't see anything new or anything from the new Halo besides like it exists, it's announced. But
well, I guess the one
piqued my interest. And then
yeah.
What was that? What was that, Matt? What were you saying?
Well, I was just gonna say what interested me with that Halo trailer is that it had the Halo 3 music in it.
Hmm.
B, it had the classic Master Chief helmet, not the shitty like overly complicated 343 stuff. Like they actually kind of went back to that original armor. And it just looks a lot closer to what the old Halo games were like. Which makes me a lot more interested to see what the hell this game actually is. I don't know what Halo Infinite's going to be.
We'll see if that's another part of the course correction here of remember when Halo was not a cinematic story-driven game.
Yeah. I will never understand why they went in that direction. Because Halo was always just like this summer blockbuster type of thing. Like I would kind of like look at the original Halo series as, I guess, kind of like Marvel. Like, they're not deep or intricate or anything, they're just fun. And then 343 takes it, and it's like, we want to make Master Chief feel human. And it's like, that's not what you do with a character who's literally just supposed to be an avatar.
You could touch upon it more, but I don't think it should ever be the focus.
I just remember the part in Halo 4 when Cortana like sacrifices herself, and then at the end there's like a cutscene, and this like army dude walks up to Master Chief, and he's just like, "I'll never understand how you feel, Chief, but I'm sorry." And it's just like he like Master Chief literally just lost his waifu. Like, that's all that happened.
Something that looked really good was the next Ori.
Yeah,
Ori looks fantastic.
The first game is fantastic, and the second game also looks fantastic. So that's very exciting.
Matt's looking forward to playing that on his PC.
On my PC.
And not on his Xbox One.
Not on my Xbox One, which I have not owned since I think it was 20. I forget when I bought. I think it was 2016.
You had an Xbox One?
Yeah. I got Destiny.
Really?
I got an Xbox One and Destiny, and then I later got Rock Band 4 for it, so that I can play all my DLC songs.
Oh my gosh!
And then I sold all of it to get a PS4.
Nice.
And Overwatch.
And here we are.
Here we
are. Well, so
one ulcer later.
The thing to me that like is always going to be an uphill battle for Microsoft is, one, they're never going to get any exclusive Japanese games. Like,
no,
it's always going to be Sony or Nintendo.
I mean, it was kind of cool that they apparently have Kingdom Hearts now. I mean,
yeah, but it's like, it's nice, but no Kingdom Hearts fan is ever going to buy that on an Xbox.
Yeah, that is
like
true.
Some might, but their audience is not on that system.
Especially after that trailer.
And just the other thing they have to overcome is, like, so many people left Xbox for PlayStation. So it's like, if all your friends play on PlayStation, you're just not going to be that one guy who plays on Xbox.
Yeah.
You're too late, Mickey.
Damn it! Okay, are we gonna wait to talk about Kingdom Hearts until Square-Enix or what?
I guess we can wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's nothing else to talk about that, so we'll save it for that.
I'll keep a lid on it then. I'll keep a fucking lid on it.
So Funk.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts on Sekiro, or I've wrote in my notes here, Ski Rio. Because I misspelled it.
I am very much excited for this game. For anybody out of the loop, this is the new From Software joint. And it's not Dark Souls, nor is it Bloodborne, nor is it Soulsborne. It's just fact, a game.
Miyazaki was out there saying today, like, he's taking a break from Souls, so this is what you're getting.
And thank God for that. As more details come out about the game, it's only becoming clearer that it really is its own thing. And what's great about it is, I guess, the potential that it has right now. I'm very excited about the grappling hook mechanic that's present in the trailer. Obviously, I don't know so much about the game. Few people do, but there's just so much you can do with that in a third-person character action game, and I'm excited for it. Because the thing is that, so the From games rarely have really had such, deep combat.
No.
And this might be the opportunity to get over that.
Yeah, and I'm definitely glad that they are stepping away from that, because it feels like they've done as much as they can with Souls-like combat. Like, how many boss patterns can you recognize before you're like, this is starting to get a little bit samey?
Right.
It's like you have Orphan of Kos, right? And then you go a little bit further, and you have Gale. and it's like you've peaked. There's nowhere to go here.
Well, what if we make it really big
Yeah.
and give it a giant sword and give it like the same 3 attacks? When you're playing
those games are great / really good, respectively. But yeah, if they announced another game that was like Dark Souls, then man, I'd feel pretty fatigued by then.
Right. Even Bloodborne, which had a lot of departures, still fell victim to those trapping. It takes a lot more than just changing a few things while retaining the same core gameplay. You really need to step completely outside of that box.
Yeah.
And aside from being a third-person action game, it's looking like this one does that.
Yeah, this is like I guess this is totally linear. There's no RPG elements or anything like that.
Right.
You're a set character, so it's very different from what came before.
It just looks like a straight-up action game.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah, good for them. Fine by me.
Apparently, there's apparently some kind of gimmick going on with it, like to like go along with the title, where like dying is actually like a game mechanic.
Yeah, like you apparently just pick back up, but it can get a bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
My assumption is that, like, to go with the shadows die twice thing, like your first death like doesn't count or something, and you can use that as a way to like take advantage of your enemy. I don't know. Like,
can you play possum?
I that sounds like kind of what the idea might be, but it's hard to really tell at this point because we've seen nothing but that. We've just seen, that trailer.
They made Takesies Backsies into a game mechanic.
Mm-hmm. I guess so.
Let's see. They announced Battletoads.
Oh god,
they did.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I'm sure that brings back fond memories for Funk.
Why is that?
Because you worked at GameStop.
Oh, I never got any of that.
Were you not there during the height of Battletoads?
I guess not. I don't really remember when that was. That might have been before my time, actually.
Huh.
Well, I sunk your joke.
You did. Also, does anyone really care about Battletoads?
No.
No,
not really. Only for the meme potential.
Why have they not done anything with Banjo-Kazooie?
Because Rare sucks now, and they don't want to.
But Battletoads is a Rare IP. They can just strip Rare's IPs off them and give them to other people.
Well, I guess that's true, but I don't know.
The thing is, Rare, Battletoads has room to do new stuff with it, whereas they tried something new with Banjo, fucked it up, and they kind of ruined that forever. So the only thing they could do is go back to it, but I don't think the Xbox audience wants a Banjo game.
Maybe it's that they just don't want to risk it. They just don't want to risk fucking it up again. And, getting people even more upset.
Maybe they just don't want to commit to it right now.
They just don't have any confidence in it. That's basically what it comes down to.
Probably. That makes... Yeah.
Let's see. They showed off the Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh,
She's actually going to become the Tomb Raider this time.
Is that the one with Fat Lara?
She's really not that fat.
What is this? What meme is this?
She's a little bit more fridge mode in this one.
I see.
She's very wide. There was the developers released a still of her model from a couple angles, and for some reason it looks like the image is stretched, but it's not, giving off the impression that she's just very wide horizontally. And she just looks fat. She looks wide. She looks fridge, as Matt put it. And it's just so strange. And the pose she's doing doesn't help things either. It's real.
As the only one who's played those games, I'm fucking done with those games.
What did they do to lose your attention?
Well, the thing is, they don't know what they want to be. It wants to be both an Uncharted game and a Tomb Raider game, and it doesn't mesh those styles well together at all. It's like half the time it's like you're doing like the action adventure story mode they want you to do, but then it's like here's this open area and you can go off and do some tombs and get lost for a couple hours, and it's like, but that just takes you away from the story. Like it's just all over the place in a way that doesn't work. It's also just very fatiguing. Like the number of insane, death-defying situations they put you in just starts to get old very quick. They're just not very good games. And, as someone doesn't even care for Last of Us, but you put that game at the same show as Last of Us, they're kind of doing the same thing, and it doesn't look anywhere near as good.
Yeah, well, probably because Tomb Raider is real gameplay.
That is true. That is true.
Wow.
There's an element of jank to that. We'll get to that, but it's just like I don't fucking care. Like especially because this is the third game now where they're like become the Tomb Raider. It's like that was what the last two games were about. Why are you still doing this? It's so fucking boring.
Yeah. Okay. But what we really got to talk about is probably the best announcement at the Microsoft conference.
Jump Force?
No, that is Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah.
Which is an actual thing, which I was not expecting. I was not here with you guys when that was announced. I'm very curious, like, what your reactions were.
DL was saying it was DMC2 up until the logo appeared.
I thought it was fucking Resident Evil.
Well, it's the thing. The thing is, I don't know if DL's even played the original DMC games, but apparently this is just like a straight up follow up to DMC4.
Yes, it is.
You got Nero and you got Uncle Dante, who is now basically Hobo Dante.
Yeah, I knew it was Nero because I recognized Johnny Young Bosch's voice, and then he said Kyrie in the trailer.
Okay.
So.
I think the moment for most people that made them realize it was Nero was when he revved up his weapon.
Yeah,
which is apparently a thing. That's what he does in DMC4. But it looks really good.
And unless you're IGN, who is still pining over the DMC reboot for whatever fucking reason.
They really stuck to that one. They were really committed to it, huh? The journalists were like, no, we were still right. That's okay. That's a testament. That's really a testament because most journalists, they'd probably flip-flop and they'd pretend like they never actually defended the DMC reboot, right? I can almost respect how much they hate anime bullshit. Because that's the reason why. It's because DMC is too anime for them.
Well, it's also whenever they go to war with their audience, they don't back down from that.
Mm-hmm.
But get blown the fuck out.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
I mean, they got up on stage and blew the fuck out.
Oh my god,
of that reboot!
That was so great. It's been 10 years.
Yeah,
since
wow.
DMC4.
Yeah. Hopefully they finish the game this time.
Heyo.
Oh yeah, I just found it hilarious how when they came out on stage, we're basically just it's about time. We know that fans are waiting for a true sequel, and apparently they actually like that guy, whatever his name is, I forget his name, but
Itsuno?
No, not him. The other guy.
Wait, the Pokemon region?
Don Matrick?
The guy who was with him.
John Madden?
The guy that looked like he would probably be in a DMC game.
What? I didn't notice this man. I don't recall this.
No, after they announced the game, him and what's his name? Itsuno? Is that it? They walked out on stage, and he was
talking about the other guy that was up there with him.
Yeah, Itsuno's like, English is too hard. Matt, you take over.
Oh,
that guy.
But
what about him?
But he said, he said that, and then later on, like on Twitter, he was like, "Oh, I did not mean to imply anything bad about DMC."
Oh.
Like people took what he was saying as like a basically shit talking DMC.
I mean, indirectly, it is.
It is indirectly, but yeah, I'm happy that DMC seems to finally be back.
Yeah, I've never played any of those games, but I'm happy for the people who do play them.
And it seems to have gotten a lot of people's attention. And I've had that fucking song stuck in my head ever since I got it.
That's a good song.
It's pretty great.
All right, can we talk about Jump Force now?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Are you hyped for Jump Force?
I mean, I don't know. It's such a stupid, silly idea of taking anime characters and putting them in the real world and then rendering them in this very terrible art style.
I don't mind the art style.
I mean, it doesn't. It's when you see a game like fucking Dragon Ball Fighters, like that's an anime art style.
It looks almost like they look almost like figurines.
Yeah. It's like it's not like offensively bad, but it's just like
the thing is though that wouldn't work. I don't think because the source material has different styles amongst these Jump productions.
I mean,
so when you just have a Dragon Ball game, that's all consistent. That's all Dragon Ball. But Dragon Ball looks different from Naruto.
I mean, I guess, but you could also get a more unified art style that looks better, a la Smash Brothers. Like that does quite well.
I don't. Yeah, but I mean, I really just don't see it. Like the complaint, I think it looks.
Listen, I get what they're going for. It's just like those characters don't look good in that art style. Like, I get, it's unifying everything, but like that's not even the point I wanted to make.
I honestly think it looks okay. Like I don't mind the art style myself.
It looks fine. It's just not great.
But yeah, I mean, I get you. Like it is a little.
I mean, if they just do a big budget anime crossover game, that's cool. I mean, they've done these games before, but this seems to be getting more of a budget, so it'd be interesting to see how it turns out. It is also disappointing that they came out and said, "Hey, that stinger with light at the end, he's totally not playable. It's just a story thing."
He's just like the boss.
That's fucking lame.
Do we know if this is just gonna be Naruto and Friends and DBZ and then One Piece or no?
I mean, because they called it Jump Force. I assume it's many Jump franchises, but they haven't confirmed anything outside of those three.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the ones except the ones you want.
Oh no Black Clover.
Oh god.
Listen, if they get Soma in there, that would be the greatest thing ever.
They're not going to get Soma in there.
They're going to get Soma in there. Does anyone want to play Gears Funko Pop?
Oh god.
So what was that?
Now that one was going in my grip.
No one knows because they didn't show what it is. It's just a Gears mobile game.
Do you think that
Funko Pop.
It'll integrate the Funko Pop such that you actually have to buy them?
Oh god.
They'd love that, wouldn't they? God, Funko Pop is the fucking trash.
It's amiibo for the new crowd.
Oh, god, I hate the fact that those exist, and I also hate the fact that I see them all the time. I hate the fact that my manager has them too.
Doesn't DL have a bunch of those?
He seems like the type of person who would hate those.
That would betray his entire image.
He's not here to defend himself, so let's just assume that DL has many Funko Pops.
Also, they showed 2 other Gears games. That rumor about them showing 3 Gears games was totally true.
Oh god. Wait, I know Gears 5, but what's the other one?
So, they showed a turn-based strategy game called Gears Tactics for the PC.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Which looks interesting.
The turn-based
I don't know if I'll play
strategy.
But it's cool. Also, yeah, Gears 5. It's another Gears.
Yeah, I thought this one was supposed to be more mature.
I mean...
Confirm or deny?
I deny, I guess. they're definitely taking it in a different place.
It's Gears.
It's very like the story seems to be very different from Gears 4, which is kind of a nothing, like soft reboot story. And all the new characters they introduced were really fucking boring. The only interesting thing was the twist at the end, where you find out like one of the characters is like hinted to be like the granddaughter of the Locust Queen or something, and that this is what this game is exploring.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was the whole thing in Gears where they didn't explain anything about the Locust Queen or her background or where the locusts even came from. Like, it was all hinted at, but never actually explained. So I expect we'll get a lot of that in this game, but, I mean, I don't have a PC good enough to play it. I don't have an Xbox. I love Gears, but it's not enough anymore. Like, I thought 3 was, like, the perfect place to end it, so...
If I ever had a hankering for more Gears, I'd definitely be into this.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be more fun, but...
But does someone exist that wants more Gears of War?
It's just Gears now, Funk.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah.
It's called Gears 5.
I can only assume this is in response to God of War blowing up, and they just want to get away from that acronym.
Well, wait, which side were you on, Steve? I remember you were very...
I was always on the Gears of War side.
So you've been blown the fuck out.
Well, no, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Huh?
Okay, he didn't even care, guys. He didn't even care. Guys,
So
guys.
all those passive-aggressive posts whenever somebody said Gao, and you were like, oh yeah, I like Gears, which you made all the time, you just don't care.
I mean, I never really did. I just knew it pissed people off.
I never cared. I was just pretending.
I mean, that's what it was to me. Like, it was always the better thing should get access to it. And Gears was better than God of War.
I mean, that's true.
Stand by that.
I'll stand by that. I think that, yeah.
I've never played either game, so I don't know.
There's no point in fighting old wars.
So much. Just play Gears 5 and play God of War. And you'll get the full experience.
God of War, the God of War.
When are they just going to call a game Kratos, the God of War?
Oh, God.
That's the next one.
Oh, jeez.
So, Collin, was the hypest announcement for you Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition?
Okay.
You got pretty excited about that.
I did. It's been a long time since I have played Tales of Vesperia, but it was... I played it like 10 years ago. I played through it with a friend, and it was some of the most fun I ever had playing a video game. And, I did it with a friend. That definitely affects it. But gosh darn it to heck, I am really, really excited to play Tales of Vesperia again, because I don't have a 360 anymore, and obviously that was never released here on the PlayStation 3, very notoriously.
Now you can play it on the Switch.
Yes.
Thanks, Microsoft.
Now I can play it on any platform I damn well please. So I am absolutely psyched for Tales of Vesperia. It's widely considered to be the best or second best Tales game by the majority of the community, unless you're a contrarian. Tales is one of those series where if you play one, you kind of play them all in terms of the gameplay a lot of the time. But Vesperia has probably, I think Vesperia has got the most endearing cast of the ones I've played. Also, it's Troy Baker before he was too good for anime dubs.
Oh my god!
And I remember when I was playing the game for the first time, I was like, man, this guy sounds weirdly natural for what I'm used to for English dubs. And it turns out he was almost too natural because he moved on almost immediately afterwards.
All right, I guess we can go with the showstopper, which was the Cyberpunk trailer at the end of the conference. It was a trailer, but also they apparently showed the game behind closed doors to the press, who proceeded to go fucking crazy about it and said, like, this could be one of the greatest games ever made. So,
Oh man,
there's your hype meter.
I never trust the press. Never trust the press on that one.
On what? Something being the greatest game of all time, you don't trust the press? What the hell's wrong with you?
People sounded like they were legitimately blown away by what they showed, and like they were all like, "This clearly isn't something that could even be done on this generation of consoles." Like they may still try and do that, but this game is also years away, so I can very much see it being a next gen game.
I mean, it's still got what, like 49 more years. When is this supposed to come out? No, 59. I sunk my own joke with my small brain.
You did. Yeah, it's, you know, until we actually see what the game is, it's a little difficult to talk about. Other than just all the fucking people freaking out about how it's a daytime cyberpunk game.
Oh my god.
Which is really dumb, especially because they said, you know, they basically came out and said, you know, we know we can do a nighttime game. We just wanted to show we could do it in the daytime. And that trailer did look very, very cool. So I think they did pull that off. And the people who are flipping out about this are really, really fucking dumb. Like, did you really expect the entire game to take place at night?
Yes.
No.
All right then.
Oh my god, people are just so indoctrinated by fucking, what's it called? Blade Runner. I feel like that they just think that everything cyberpunk has to look like Blade Runner. It's just stop this.
Please, no more.
I mean, I'm kind of interested in this. I'd probably be more interested in it if it wasn't made by CD Projekt Red, but because I've tried The Witcher 2, the alleged one of the supposed greatest games of all time, and the combat in the game is fucking garbage. It's god.
I too am no fan of Witcher combat.
I could not get through that game at all. It was just so fucking fucking wet noodle fighting is that game.
Well,
but yeah,
they've been working on it for a long time, and we'll be working on it for a long time after this, so there's plenty of time to iron that stuff out.
I guess so, huh, Steve? I guess so.
It looks cool, so I hope it's really good.
What is the gameplay even supposed to be like?
What's that?
We don't know yet.
Yeah. It's an RPG. That's all we know.
It's first person and an RPG with shooter elements. They're very clear to specify that it's an RPG with shooter elements, not the other way around. Anything else you guys want to talk about from the Microsoft conference?
What happened?
Cuphead DLC.
There's Cuphead DLC.
Oh, Dying Light 2.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
Almost interested in this. I mean, it's zombies, right?
I mean, I got interested in it when fucking Chris Avellone came out on stage.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who was the designer behind freaking what's it called? Planescape Torment.
Uh-huh.
Like one of the greatest RPGs of all time that everybody says is amazing. And also the guy who was one of the lead designers behind Fallout New Vegas and a whole bunch of other games. I think he was also the director for KOTOR 2 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of stuff with Obsidian, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a designer for KOTOR 2. So I mean, he's done a lot of stuff, and if he's the narrative designer for this game, then it's probably going to have a pretty good story. And it's probably
unfortunately it's also a zombie game.
Unfortunately, it's also Mirror's Edge with zombies, and unfortunately, it might also just be completely nihilistic, which is what he loves to do.
With
the wicked sense. Damn it!
Huh? Wait, oh,
Jinx.
Yeah, if you ever.
I've heard that first game's okay, but again, zombies. So.
Doesn't it star Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah,
yeah,
it does.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah, that's the one. I always forget if it's him or Jason Griffith.
Griffith. Well, I mean, Griffith is everyone's Sonic, but he's not the current Sonic.
Right.
Well, look, you don't speak for everyone.
Was
okay?
he?
I think I do, Collin.
Was he?
Don't you dare speak for me.
Was he old Sonic? Like
he was Sonic from Shadow the Hedgehog to Secret Rings. No, Unleashed.
Okay. And now it's new guy.
He was only Sonic for 4 years, whereas Roger Craig Smith has been Sonic for 8.
Yeah, but like he was also during one of the most active periods of Sonic.
Who is Sonic in the adventure games?
That was Ryan Drummond.
Ryan,
he was also good.
That's the other guy.
Like at some point, their voices blended together for me.
They never did that for me. That's fine.
Collin's ear is so attuned to the various voice actors. He's very good.
I can't really think of anything else that happened at the conference, though. Oh, I guess Todd Howard came out on stage.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that next because Bethesda's up.
Thank God.
They had a show. They had they had something that got Kenny to laugh and smile, which is something we have not seen in a long time, which is the Andrew WK Rage 2 performance.
Oh God. That was like an E3 2008 tier moment.
It was, but it was also kind of stupid and fun in a way that like
was it
didn't
intentional?
Yeah, and they also started with it where it didn't feel like it dragged the show down like in the middle or something.
Yeah,
like that.
at least it wasn't. It was not Usher performance.
Remember that Just Dance thing where they did "Don't Stop Me Now."
Oh, God.
How awful that was.
Oh God.
So Matt, as the leading Rage expert here, what's your take on Rage 2? We may have talked about this on the last podcast. I can't remember, but they showed more of it.
I mean, Rage 1, I only played for about like an hour when it was on sale for like a free weekend. I actually purchased it recently because it was on sale for like $3, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see if this game is any good. I haven't played it yet, but the first Rage is known for being a decent, if disappointing, shooter. It's kind of bland. It was basically a tech demo for, I think, what was it? EdTech 5, I think, which was very primitive at the time and was not nearly as good as it should have been. But anyway, they kind of shelved Rage for a while. I don't know why they're bringing back Rage, because it feels like something that would just be it would just be like a money dumpster fire. I don't know. Like it just doesn't even seem. It doesn't seem like something that would really even sell. Like I don't know why.
I get the feeling they just really liked that universe or something about that universe that they just wanted to make another game in it, give it another crack.
I think what I read was that the creator of Rage wanted to like give it another chance and wanted to have another go at it, and they finally gave him that chance.
That seems likely.
And like this game looks better, I can tell you that. It definitely looks a lot better. It looks like there's potential there for it to be a fun shooter. And again, we're doing the whole open world meme, and I guess we'll see what that's going to be like. But I don't know. Oh, that's the other thing. It's being made by Avalanche, who makes the Just Cause series. So that's awesome. That's actually probably a good sign too, because they're pretty good at that crazy over the top explosions everywhere stuff. So maybe it'll be good. Who knows? It's hard to say at this point. I mean, I'm mildly more interested now than I was with that initial trailer.
That was cute.
They also showed a trailer for Doom Eternal.
Yes.
Which is another Doom.
Yes.
That's something to get excited about, because last Doom was really good. It was a little on the repetitive side, but hopefully with like now that they've gotten more stuff to work with to start with, they'll be able to like do something more interesting in terms of like levels, in terms of enemy variety.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm hoping for, because mechanically the last Doom was so good.
It was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do kind of wish, like, if there's one complaint I really do have about the first game is that I feel like there's too much extra stuff there that doesn't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got weapon mods, you got upgrades for like health, armor, ammo, you got these rune trials, and you got these like praetor things. I don't know. It's just too many things that just interrupt the gameplay.
They probably just felt pressure to make it a modern video game.
Yeah, that's the thing. It felt like it has all these modern video game things stuffed in there, which is actually kind of why I appreciated Titanfall 2 a lot more. Because Titanfall 2 is just a straight Rudy 2D point and shooty game. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up a gun. That's the way the gun's gonna be the whole game. That's the kind of shooter I like. Guns that are viable throughout the entire game. That's what I'm looking for. And Doom honestly did do a pretty good job at that. I just wish you didn't have to like do like, oh, you want to get this upgrade where now you gotta like kill enemies in this very specific way to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I just find that kind of stuff kind of annoying because it just makes me interrupt gameplay. Like it just interrupts me from, doing what I want to do, which is just shoot things. Like I just want to shoot things away when I shoot things, and I want guns to be good immediately upon receiving them.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
But anyway, that Doom game was really good. New one looks great.
I mean, it doesn't really look like anything yet.
I mean,
but
yeah, obviously, but
it's one of those games where it's okay if they don't show anything because there's pedigree.
Right. And the guy who came out on stage, just everything he said and just how genuinely excited he looked, kind of sold me. Like, he said, twice as many demons, looks like they're bringing back the Archvile, bringing back Pain Elemental, all these classic enemies that are actually from Doom 2.
But what if they did have classical music, Matt?
It might trigger some people.
Also Hell on Earth, which is awesome. And also just the designs feel a lot closer to the original Doom, so I almost feel like they're really taking it back to its roots, which would be awesome. Well, we're awesome.
So you're hoping for? Are you hoping for some like non-linearity to it? Are you hoping for some non-linearity or something?
I would be. I mean, Doom 2016 did a pretty decent job at not being completely linear. Because there is a lot of kind of looping paths and extra bonus stuff that you can go and find. But I would be very happy to see more open environments, more non-linear stuff, more hunting down key cards, more enemies just roaming the level. Not like, oh, you're stuck in a arena for 5 minutes, kill all the enemies to continue. I didn't really mind that much, but again, I just wish there was more. Just you just go in an area and you just shoot people, like how the original Doom games are. And
you know what I didn't mind, and I'll probably, if we had fans, I'd get shit for this, but we don't, so I can say whatever I want. I did not mind the story in Doom. In fact, I thought it was a pretty evenly paced game because of it.
Yeah, the story was fine. I liked
there were nice little pace breaker moments with it.
I thought the pacing for Doom 2016 was honestly perfect. I thought.
Yeah.
It's like a perfectly paced 8-hour shooter.
Yeah.
It's pretty much great on that end. I mean, if there's anything about that I didn't like is I wish they didn't shove all the boss fights at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was kind of strange. I wish
You're just kind of
like,
you're waiting around for them to pop up for a really long time.
And then it's like, oh, here they are. And there's only 3 of them.
Where were they hiding?
At the end of the game.
At the end of the game.
And one of them is kind of shit.
Yeah, you're talking about the twins, whatever they're called.
Yeah, the Guardians or whatever the heck. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Zelda boss.
Yes.
They're almost like a Zelda. I mean, it's still basically shoot them till they die, but it's a lot more weird. I mean, I do hope the new one does have more boss fights, more original demons too. It would be awesome if they brought back if they brought back the Icon of Sin from Dune 2, even down to the John Romero cameo. That would be pretty great. I really hope that you have to kill John Romero in this game too.
Well, it does seem like the sort of fan service laden game that would do that.
So yeah, I'm excited. I kind of wish it was called Eternal Doom though, not Doom Eternal.
But yeah, you can't fuck with the brand though.
Yeah. Doom's got to get the first credit here.
So how do you guys feel about Todd Howard ruining our memes forever?
Listen, look, those are his memes, all right?
Hey, well, I do like that he created a new meme. I don't know if you saw this, but it's a picture of Todd Howard walking out onto stage at this year's E3, and he's like bathed in the glowing light behind him, and it just says "Leave Jiren to me."
What does that mean?
Jiren is the final antagonist of Dragon Ball Super.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. You get that.
Did we lose Matt? Matt, you there?
Matt's dead.
Is Matt dead?
He's dead.
He dropped from the call.
Oh, he's back. Wait.
He's dead.
Oh. Well, all right. On with the show, I guess.
He'll be back.
What is the meme that died? What did Todd Howard kill? You said he killed a meme.
Well, so he came out and he did all the memes.
What memes? I haven't seen this.
Okay. Well, that explains a lot. He came. Did you see that video? The Skyrim video?
No.
Okay. So he went out on stage and he made fun of the fact that they put Skyrim on everything by making a pre-produced video about Skyrim on Alexa, which turned out to be a real product.
Now, what is Alexa?
It's like one of those home voice assistants where you can talk to it and it answers questions and does stuff for you.
Yeah. It'll change the lights in your room.
Will it change the light bulbs for me?
No, it won't change the light bulbs. I knew that question was coming.
You did not know it was coming.
You're not clever.
You did not know it was coming.
Get the fuck out of here.
You can't just say, "Oh, I expected that," just because you don't like it.
Listen. If I didn't expect it, I'd probably laugh.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I'd say, it was good. But it
wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. It was awful.
But it's not because you saw it coming. It's awful on its own.
Oh, he's just being ironically bad with jokes. Just being unfunny, ironically.
Do you know me, friend?
Anyways, he also referenced the it just works meme.
Yes.
And the fact that their games are always broken. Like he was very self-aware this E3.
Yes.
Hello.
Did he talk about the lifts in his shoes?
He's just not tall.
Okay, so my internet just shit itself for like a minute, so
That's
Don't
okay.
worry,
You missed nothing.
We'll edit in clips of you reacting to things, so it'll be like you never left.
okay.
Right, Steve?
Well, that's good.
So the only thing left for Todd Howard to do is to just curl up on the ground and start screaming at the top of his lungs, "Buy my game!" Just shave his head on stage and just say, "Guys, I have cancer, and my last wish is for you to buy Skyrim."
That'd be a pretty good prank.
Yeah, just bring a gun on stage.
It's like, I've been wrongly convicted of political embezzlement.
That's the only meme. That's the only meme he's got to reference now, huh? Got to go up on stage in disguise, trying to sell us Skyrim.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Bud Dwyer killing himself.
No.
That's a reach.
Does Todd Howard secretly browse V?
He must. He must know.
Who do you think makes all the buy my game threads?
It is kind of. It is. The thing is, everybody always shits on Bethesda, but for whatever reason, I can't dislike Todd Howard. I just can't.
He's all right.
He's surprisingly charismatic.
He's a very charismatic person.
Well, he wasn't gonna get by on his height.
Yeah. He's a small Chad. Small Chad.
It's funny because there's always this email that goes. He is the original Todd poster, by the way, because there's this email going always goes around that I see where there are people talking about. I think there's an email from way back in 1990s, in I don't know 2000, early 2000s or late 90s or something, where they're talking about Elder Scrolls, and there's just this one post at the end by Todd Howard that just says you should buy Elder Scrolls whatever it is that what's that black race in that game again? I always forget it.
Redguard.
Redguard. It's there's this Elder Scrolls game. It's something Redguard. You should buy this Redguard game coming out later this year. Literally buy my game before it was a thing.
Well, we've been here before, so is anyone going to buy his newest game, Fallout 76?
That's a yes.
Well, I haven't bought 4 yet. I have not bought 4 yet, is the thing. And I'm waiting for a sale. I'm waiting for a sale for that. I was very not into that game when they revealed it and they showed the Mass Effect dialogue and just how things seem to be, how the whole system seemed to be, and it just did not feel like something I would be really all that into. This game seems like it might be fun with friends or something, but I don't know. Again, I'm gonna need to see more. And the more info I hear about it, the more wary I get about it. He chose his words very carefully when he said, "Yes, of course you can play this game solo." Note that he said solo, not offline.
Yeah, it's an online game.
Was he paid to advertise for the new Star Wars film?
He also made it sound like you can play it solo, but it'll probably be more difficult than playing with friends.
Right. I mean, because everybody's going to be trying to fuck you over, basically. But
well, believe it or not, IGN made a good point.
I don't believe it.
I know. They mentioned that being the online game that it is, this is likely to be the first Bethesda game that you really can't mod nearly as effectively.
That's true.
To fix everything.
That's true, but I think they're going to be implementing it in some way. They're probably going to force Creation Club on it, like they have been with all their other games. And I'm sure that's going to be the main source of mods. Which isn't great. But yeah, I don't know. And also the fact that this game looks like it's just a straight up open world shooter more than an RPG.
Yeah, it would kind of have to be online.
I guess at least it feels like they're treating this as a spin-off rather than a brand new game, a brand new rather than Fallout 5. But even then, it might be good, but again, I have to see more. Like, I need to get more info, and I need to see how exactly this is all going to work. Because, no NPCs, that's another thing they mentioned, which is, one of the biggest aspects of Fallout are the NPCs. That's always your source of quests. That's always your source of, story and lore and interesting writing and all that. And honestly, Fallout really isn't Fallout without the writing. That's one of the most important aspects of the games.
Well, I guess you could say the writing is now on the wall.
Oh my god.
This is gonna be all night.
Well, if Fallout doesn't interest you, you can always look forward to Todd Howard's next game, Starfield. And if that doesn't interest you, you can look forward to his game after that, which is The Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah,
Hey, 2 games, they're probably, not anywhere near close to coming out, but hey, they at least gave us something to look at.
Now,
they didn't just get on stage and say, hey, here's the name of the game, and that's it.
To what extent are these Todd Howard's games? Is he the creative director, or...?
Yeah.
He is the director
from his
of those
team.
games, yeah. Everything Bethesda, everything that's Bethesda Game Studios is pretty much directed by him. Fallout was directed by him, Skyrim was by him, Fallout 4 was directed by... everything is pretty much Todd Howard.
Everything's coming up, Todd.
Yep. And...
Space RPG might be
I know
cool.
Starfield... Starfield has been something that's been going around for a while. People have been there have been rumors about it. I
It
think
got leaked, yeah.
I'm sorry. Every time you say Starfield, I honestly think of Garfield in space.
Garfield. Oh my god.
Can they just continuously re-release the Oblivion making of documentary? I'd buy that several times more than I would Skyrim, Starfield, or
oh my god, who's laughing
Elder
now?
Scrolls 6. It's so good. It's really it's comfy core that making of. It's really good.
It is kind of watching clips from that is kind of it is very feel good in a sense. It's basically just about this nerdy guy who ends up fulfilling his dream of making video games. This is great.
Is anybody listening to this? And that includes Collin.
Hello.
The recommended course here is to go sit down on YouTube, turn on that Oblivion making of documentary, and every 10 minutes switch to that 4-hour-long Oblivion retrospective, and just waffle between the two in 10-minute intervals. You'll have a great time.
Jesus
Duly noted. I'll be sure to take care of that later.
So I'll say even though they showed games that are very far out and have in some cases nothing to show for them.
Oh, you fuck off. Not you, Steve.
I at least give them a credit for a good conference in that they showed the games that people wanted. They're giving people what they want.
It was honestly a good conference. I do kind of feel like the ending with Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 was more or less damage control kind of thing. Just in case Fallout 76 was not received all too well. That at least, hey, here's Starfield, and hey, Elder Scrolls 6 is officially a thing. Stop talking to me about it. Never ask anything from me again.
That was a theme this year.
But yeah, I did note he did specifically say next gen when referring to Starfield. So
yeah,
these games are probably not going to be coming out for a while. Until PS5.
Yeah.
Until probably 2020 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
this generation's been kind of lame, by the way.
Maybe before Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That's never coming out. Anything else you guys want to talk about from Bethesda?
Quake
Play that Prey DLC, Collin?
I have not gotten the Prey DLC yet. if Matt wants to play hide and seek and pray, I'm totally down. That one's actually free.
Wait, is that a real mode? Can you play hide and seek?
Yeah, there's now a multiplayer mode that's basically hide and seek.
Does one person play as those things that
Yes.
become objects? Oh,
Yes.
that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's basically just prop hunt.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Prey is great, and it still comes highly recommended.
It
I'm
is
not
great.
sure what my opinion matters to any of you, but it's a very good game.
It is,
You won over Matt.
Yeah, baby.
It's basic. It is basically like modern System Shock. It's a better System Shock game than BioShock ever was.
Oh my god.
I can tell you that.
Is that on the box?
It should
It
be.
should be.
It's just so I think Collin is receiving Prey kickbacks. Whenever he tells me to buy it, he always sends me a referral link. It's very suspicious.
I haven't seen any shilling for the game on V though, so I don't know how active he's being with it.
It did not sell very well.
I see Prey threads on V almost daily, and they're almost always asking why it failed.
Are you
Well,
sure you're
you
not
may have-
blacking
you may-
out and making these threads yourself?
You may have to wait a while till you see him again because we have too many Waluigi threads or Zelda feet threads
Oh,
or
God.
peg posting threads. Which one of you is the peg poster?
I've
to
never
know.
seen
The
a
what
peg
poster?
posting thread.
You've never seen these threads of them posting Peg from Goof Troop?
No.
No, honestly,
I have
My
actually
God, they're
not.
all over the place.
What are you talking about?
I've been missing this.
Yeah,
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Steve, nobody has ever seen this. It's just you.
it's
You
really.
mean you mean the cute girl character from Goof? Oh wait a minute. Who are you talking about? I'm thinking of a
Pete's
Goofy
wife.
movie.
Pete's wife, Peg.
I'm not
Have
sure.
you guys not seen Goof Troop?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Are they also
Okay.
Luelu posting?
Maybe.
Peggy, Luelu.
Not as great of numbers.
All right, well
You're gonna have to pick up the slack.
here's an Anechi thread.
That's a good one. All right. So we're gonna take a break here, and we'll be back to talk about the rest of E3.
Ooh.
Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to the Sonic Board podcast. Next up on the E3 docket, we got Square-Enix. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this because they didn't either. They had the biggest waste of time 30-minute press conference you could ever imagine.
At least they didn't waste that much time.
That's true. They showed nothing of a new Platinum game. They showed some weird FMV, maybe kind of game. The Quiet Man.
The Quiet Man, yes.
They showed more Tomb Raider. I guess the only thing, and we've been putting this off long enough, they showed Kingdom Hearts 3.
They showed like the same trailer of Kingdom
They
Hearts
did show the
3.
same, a slightly extended version of the Microsoft trailer, which was also dumb. And then they had a different trailer at the Sony conference. But we can wrap up that discussion all right here.
Yeah.
Collin, you sound like you have some things to say about Kingdom Hearts.
Listen, I don't really have any sort of interesting things to share about this.
I mean, it's not a very interesting series.
No, it's just it's fascinating to me that people actually care about the story in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
It's Colin. It's too deep. You don't get it.
Oh my gosh! But it reads like a parody of anime writing. That's what it sounds like. You know?
I
It's
saw
like,
someone
well,
the other day arguing that they loved Kingdom Hearts because it's just a typical shonen.
It's really not. It's
It's not at all.
perhaps the least self-aware series I've ever seen. It really reads. I mean, it's cliche to say, but it really does read like a fan fiction.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I do think this it's like, oh well, it doesn't have to. You can focus on other things other than the story. There's a lot of focus on the story in these games. Okay,
That's what people play them for.
it takes away from the appeal of the series immensely for me.
But how are we supposed to find out how Sora stops the darkness?
Mickey, it's too late.
I love that point because I just keep seeing that image of Mickey's head like in like some like trap or something. I don't know what that is. You just see this like quick shot of Mickey and he's just like, is that?
Imagine having to say Mickey Mouse's name dramatically and like imagining Mickey Mouse there in front of your character.
Is this series secretly just like a proto Tails Gets Trolled?
That's what it feels like. I was just about to say Tails Gets Trolled. It's like Tails gets fucking trolled.
It really is. It's like a non-self-aware Tails Gets Trolled.
It's so bad. I mean, look, maybe there's something here. Like visually, it's very pretty.
The game itself looks like it's pretty fun.
It looks like it plays just fine. It's just wow. Oh man.
And the story is just a clusterfuck too.
And they don't even like the Final Fantasy characters don't even really show up besides like small cameos.
Right.
Oh, God. You might as well argue that the original characters are your Final Fantasy element in the story, and boy, are they a potent element of it. And most of the stories in it are just retreading the ground of the Disney movies, and then throwing in this and just making them so much worse. Just making them worse.
Mm-hmm.
Just across the board.
It's always been the Disney stuff that has sold the game. No one really. I don't think many people cared for the Final Fantasy cameos.
Back when it first came out, it was a different story. Final Fantasy was a lot bigger then.
True. And I mean, like, there was the novelty of, like, oh, Final Fantasy and Disney, but everyone's looking forward to, like, oh, man, are they going to have a Wreck-It Ralph world? Nobody's like, oh, man, are they going to put in Kefka? I don't know.
Is lightning going to appear?
Lightning is going to appear.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Who's the Final Fantasy 15 protagonist?
Noctis?
Oh yeah, is Noctis gonna appear?
Maybe.
Like no one's thinking that though.
Oh. Maybe I was.
They gotta have Frozen in there though.
They gotta have Frozen from Frozen.
And Tangled from Tangled.
And Moana from
The fucking monsters eating Goofy though, still fucking creepy.
Oh god.
Yeah, so they're finally starting to integrate the Pixar stuff.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of that's kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah,
in its own way.
I mean, I guess that's a better idea than Tron.
Yeah, Pixar wasn't Disney last time.
There is nothing wrong with Tron. Tron is fucking cool.
Yeah, but they've been Disney for like the other games that have released.
Were they?
Yeah.
I'm not so familiar where when the other games came out. I just know that for 2.
The last game was Dream Drop Distance. What was that, 2012? Something like that.
Something like that.
There's so many definitely post-Pixar buyout that's way after it.
Kingdom Hearts is such a weird fucking series in terms of its chronology and everything, because there's like a billion Kingdom Hearts games, but we're only up to 3.
So they said the other day they're going to put out a story summary with this game that's going to be hours long.
Oh god!
Listen,
multiple hours long.
I've watched some Kingdom Hearts story summaries, and fucker, I still don't know what's going on.
This is nonsense.
You just kind of have to absorb the games themselves.
Kingdom Hearts may be like one of the most convoluted series out there. Maybe outside, like even more so than stuff like fucking like Metal Gear and everything.
It's insane that this is technically under Disney's thumb, and they kind of just let them go nuts with it.
Yeah,
they're using their IPs in it, and you expect Disney to be like a lot stricter with it, but nope, just go nuts. Which is, I mean, kind of a nice thought, but man, they bet on the wrong horse here. Or maybe, you know what, it's a big success, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, as long as it makes money.
Yeah.
So who's gonna buy it?
Oh god,
It's not me.
Only if Steve, you got to buy it and then stream it for everyone.
God,
oh god.
This is your duty.
My only experience with the series was Kingdom Hearts 2, and I did not beat it. The only thing
you get a group of guys together who have never like played or watched anything Kingdom Hearts. You play Kingdom Hearts 3, have it completely out of context, you might have an amazing time.
Yeah, so I'm not completely out of the loop. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, only one, but I would be interested in that. It's like, what's a good example? What's the most out there thing? It's just like, start watching A New Hope and then checking in at The Last Jedi. Suddenly everything's blue milk, Jedi texts. And before you just wanted to see Alec Guinness do bad sword fighting.
He tried his best.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He was an old man. What do you want from him?
Good sword fighting.
He swung that stick around like he meant it.
Well, the thing is that Kingdom Hearts 3 drops, a couple days earlier in Japland. So I'll buy it and stream it in Japanese for maximum confusion.
Oh god, don't even get me started on fucking voice acting, too.
Isn't it Haley Joel Osment who voices Sora?
Assuming nobody's killed him yet, yeah.
He just, look, I get it. It's rough material to read, but I know the man can act.
Can he? Is he a man?
He's a man.
I mean, strictly speaking, he's of age.
He's like 30-something, I think, at this point.
Oh my god.
There's one specific line I always remember. It's like, where Sora's just like, I know Akka, her heart is my heart. I won't let her fall into darkness.
Roxas.
Now, what is the significance between Roxas being an anagram of Sora with the letter X added?
He's nobody.
What?
I do remember Roxas is in Kingdom Hearts 2, and he's like the real Sora, and like in Kingdom. I don't know. It's like
can
something.
We not go through the entire story on the podcast. We don't have time for that.
He's Sora's nobody, and a nobody's what you get once you become a Heartless. And Sora was a Heartless for a brief period of time. You know this. Fuck off. Kill yourself.
I don't know this. I've never played Kingdom Hearts 2.
Maybe you should dab on him, huh? Wham.
Oh, wait, Collin likes Wham?
All I remember is that the section in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you're playing as Roxas takes way too long to get through.
Now, is that the one where you're like skateboarding around town?
I don't know. I
remember my only exposure to Kingdom Hearts 2 was watching somebody speedrun it, and like the first 4 hours of the game are skateboarding around some stupid town, like hitting people with pylons and picking up balls.
that might be it.
Amazing gameplay.
That's not an exaggeration.
That might be it.
All right. Well, that's it for Square. They wasted everyone's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. All right. Ubisoft.
So I haven't seen this. I only have one question. The most burning question of all. Who hosted this conference?
No one.
Oh, really?
They didn't have a host.
They didn't get back Aisha Taylor?
Nope. She didn't host last year either.
Oh, really?
Last year they had Yves Guillemot, who's the CEO, host it. And this year, like they opened with Just Dance, and then they just showed game after game, and the only presenters were the guys presenting their own games. And then Eve came up there when they announced Star Fox in that one game, Starlink. And then he dragged Miyamoto on stage. He looked very confused. And then they went backstage with the R-Wing model, and that was that. That was kind of the most notable thing. I don't have any interest in that game, but it was cool that they put Star Fox in it. I guess it's not like
not buying
Nintendo's
a Toys
doing
to
anything
Life
good with
game.
it.
Yeah. That I know we're not on Nintendo yet, okay, but it does kind of go to show Star Fox still has this level of brand recognition to him. People really care about Star Fox.
Well, I mean,
Still.
I think they like Star Fox. I don't necessarily know they care about it anymore.
Yeah, maybe there are not a lot of people passionate about it, but there are a lot of people that like have passing interest in not even like hardcore fans, like having like passing interest in like Nintendo brand shit, and they want to see a new Star Fox, like a good Star Fox. And they've been waiting. People have like been waiting so long, and it's just
22
so
years, in fact.
Yeah, it's just so weird that they can't get it right with this series, and now he's relegated to a Toys to Life thing.
I mean, did 64 was 64 just the peak?
Yes.
For this series,
Yeah.
and it's just never gonna be that good again.
Well, let's hope not.
Honestly, all people wanted was them just to make another 64, and then they fucked that up with 0.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was that.
I almost feel like this is a kind of genre that like just doesn't. You can't really do much with. Like you can't really do all that much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe there's not as much they can do with it without biting the bullet on ground missions. But I do want to see this series actually come back.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like if. Huh?
It's still one of their most recognizable series to this day for some reason. Like Star Fox 64's memory is just so burned into people's collective consciousness.
Part of me kind of feels like it should just kind of, just kind of sleep.
Kill Star Fox, bring back F-Zero. Anyways, we'll talk about that later.
It's a hot take.
The only other... Ubisoft had stuff. They had Beyond Good and Evil. We kind of saw what gameplay was, but very limited. I don't know if anyone's actually excited about that, but of the things they showed, that was, I think, one of the more impressive things.
Well, I'm a real gamer, so I saw the name Beyond Good and Evil, and I had to clap.
I will say, after the initial shock of the first trailer, I'm definitely I'm more interested now in seeing exactly what this game is going to be like. And Jade actually made an appearance, so now it feels a little bit more like a Beyond Good and Evil game. So, I don't know.
Yeah, even though it's still a prequel, though, right?
It is still a prequel.
Yeah.
There's some weird alien fuckery going on with Jade, so I don't know.
Have we heard anything from Recore? Wasn't that like a backdoor sequel to Beyond Good and Evil?
No, not at all.
No.
The game came out and bombed.
It came out?
It came out, and it came out unfinished. And then, like, a couple years later, they released the definitive edition that finished the game. But it still wasn't very good.
Thanks, Inafune.
Does anyone like that pirate game?
Sid Meier's?
Man, that pirate game really disappointed me. I was expecting that to be a lot neater than it was. It looks like it's like an always online sort of multiplayer game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the boarding process is just ship battles. It's just ship battles.
Press A to board and win.
Yeah, you have like an area where you walk around a hub, right? There's a hub. They saw that. And then the whole game, but all the action is the ship battles, and it feels like that's not really what people asked for when they played that. What was it? Black Flag?
Well, I think that's exactly what people asked for, but also like
no, they said like I want to be a pirate for a whole game. I won't be only Mr. Pirate, and they're like, oh, okay, cool. You're in the ship for the whole game. All right, okay. I guess there's nothing more you could do with this. Great. So that was actually kind of a disappointment for me because that interested me last year.
Yeah, I can see that, but also like it felt like that's the direction they were taking it from the beginning. So it doesn't surprise me that they stuck with it. Like I guess it's just what they want that game to be.
How do you guys feel about the new Ass Creed?
Hey, remember when they said they were taking a year off and then that lasted all of 1 year?
Well, if they said they were taking a year off, I guess they didn't lie.
Taking a year off between games going forward, and that lasted all of one game.
Look, Steve, historical sexism is worse than inclusive gameplay. And we need that every year.
Oh, God.
None of us played that series, I don't think.
No.
I saw an art.
Nothing about it here grasped me, so there.
What's this article you saw?
It was the title was, the headline was at E3 2018 bigots lost, or something to that effect. And the image was a female playable character in Assassin's Creed, and it's like in Assassin's Creed Odyssey you can play a female character the whole game. And I clapped.
No games have ever done that before.
Yeah, but she's cute, so it's all right.
She's okay for a Western female character. She's okay.
It's a low bar.
It is, admittedly. Hey, Greg Kirkhope was on stage. That was cool.
Yeah,
he played like a brief snippet of the DK rap.
Did he rap it himself?
No, there was no rapping. It was just the beat.
Wait, at Ubisoft?
Yeah.
Why? Why was he there?
Because the
Donkey
music
Kong
for
DLC.
Mario and Rabbids, and they had the DLC expansion.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
That was pretty much it.
Yep.
They had the Division, but who fucking cares?
They had
with
like
more
stuff for all their games that nobody
gameplay
plays
and
anymore.
commentary.
This could really happen, Collin. Look, what happens, Collin? What happens when the enemy comes from within the country? What happens, Collin?
You dab on him.
What happens if you voted for him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh no! Looks like I'm the enemy within. Wait, that's a different thing.
You mean eel within?
I'm sorry. I'm such a Nazi.
Yeah, it's Ubisoft. Not much going on this year from them. Alright. So this is going to be an interesting one. Let's talk about Sony.
Oh boy.
Alright.
So Sony had a press conference in 2 different locations, which is probably not the smartest idea. It was kind of a unique gimmick for their Last of Us trailer, but then it was like, okay, that's done. Let's move everyone else to this other theater while we kill time. And we had to sit and watch a Call of Duty trailer and then a bunch of people yapping about it. Sony
announced a prequel to Banjo-Kazooie just called Banjo.
They did have the guy from that box art on stage.
That was still I'm still vexed about that. That guy's banjo was very strange.
I didn't even notice it, but so it was like a guitar banjo combination.
Yeah, like it didn't have the that one string that's like tuned higher up on the neck. Like it's usually a G. Didn't have that. It had the full 6 strings that looked to be tuned in the same relation as a guitar. And, it was weird. Very wide neck. I don't know why. It's like they wanted a banjo but couldn't find somebody who only played the banjo and they needed to compromise. And the reason I'm talking about this is that this is far more interesting to me than the game that followed it.
Yeah, they opened the show with Lesbian Schnoz Simulator.
Oh, God.
And even putting that stuff aside, because it's whatever. I don't know if I was the only one, but the whole time they were playing that game, I couldn't help but think back to when they totally faked that Last of Us E3 presentation like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like, wow, this is probably more of the same. Like you maybe with the rise in technology since then, they could maybe do what they wanted to do back then, but
Yeah, cause see, in E3 2015, they showed the Uncharted footage of like the convoy chase sequence in 4, and that ended up being pretty legit.
That sequence is Collin's favorite sequence in any video game. He talks
about
about
it
it all the
every day.
time.
It's just something I feel the need to reference. All right, it's easy to reference because we've all seen it.
I mean, because that's what people like. And I agree with you. It didn't seem like they faked Uncharted 4 the way they had faked past games.
Yeah.
So, but
the thing is that like that didn't involve any complex AI and not a lot of like little details and interactions with the environment that we're seeing in this Last of Us footage.
Because no one is doing that stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy if it's like if it was real, that shit's crazy. But I just don't think it is.
Mm-hmm. But even then, I have to say, this wasn't impressive. What I saw from the gameplay here wasn't remotely impressive.
But you can go prone.
I don't care. It's so funny because because we were talking about how sick we were of seeing Days Gone, right? And because that apes The Last of Us to death.
Mm-hmm.
And now I look at this footage, and I'm already sick of it because of how much I've already seen Days Gone. Days Gone, made me sick of The Last of Us.
But at least they didn't show any zombies, right?
Yeah, at least they didn't show zombies.
They're
the real
later.
Zombies, because you see, Steve, the real zombies are inside us.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
It's just another Last of Us game.
Yeah,
and
they
I think
didn't.
the people who like that series aren't there for that. Like, I mean, they may be impressed by it, but all they care about is the story.
Yeah, that is the thing about The Last of Us. Like, if you go online, that's the only thing that anybody who likes the game ever talks about. Like, nobody cares.
Fine. Like, that's fine if that's what you like the game for.
I guess, but it's not even that good of a story.
It's got a good ending.
Does it?
I like the ending a lot for The Last of Us. I do. I think it has a perfect ending.
I don't know. I just found it so bland and forgettable all the way through.
I think the supplementary material that tells you that the Fireflies were actually incompetent the whole time actually ruins the ending for me.
Oh yeah, there is an implication that the Firefly that everything that is happening here is actually entirely black and white and not shades of gray. Which is kind of stupid, but part of me almost feels like that's misconstrued by most people. Like, there's an audio log where it basically says they tried this before on other people.
Yeah, and that ruins the ending.
Who have this condition and it didn't work, but I actually took that as they just tried this on other people who had the disease, not specifically people who were immune to it, like Ellie.
I'm sorry. Funk just posted a very odd webum, and I'm not really going to describe it, but I've
seen this before.
I've lost my train of thought.
She's gonna get you.
Well, there goes the podcast.
Is this a more compelling ending than The Last of Us?
This should have been the final boss.
Oh my god. What I remember from... Okay. I guess from what I remember from The Last of Us was the best section of the game was probably like the sections with Bill, and I guess the winter section.
Winter was good. Winter was fairly kino.
I hated, like, I was so done with the game at the end. I think I just ended up turning it down to easy and just going right through everything.
The Collin Persona 5 approach.
I was just so done with the game at that point. Like, I was just so bored. I just wanted to see it end.
I have no interest in A Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, like I don't get why
that game. That's over.
I know why there's a sequel, but
yeah, the ending was the perfect ending for me, and I have no interest in seeing where it goes after that.
I have a feeling that this is going to be a Walking Dead Season 2 situation. Like, as in the game, Walking Dead the game.
Yeah. No, yeah, but it's gonna get amazing reviews, it's gonna get great sales, so it's not gonna be quite the same.
No, it's not gonna be quite the same, unfortunately. And everybody's gonna take the lesbian kiss thing and roll with it as like, oh, those awful bigots are at it again.
I mean, they knew exactly what they were doing by putting that there.
Oh yeah,
that was like the most obvious bait virtue signaling ever.
You know, I am fine with that if I don't feel like it was entirely a political thing and not something.
Didn't they do it much more subtle in the first game?
Yeah,
there's a gay character in that game, isn't there?
Yeah, Bill. He's a gay character, and it's not. I mean, it's not.
But then they made an entire DLC episode just to talk about how Ellie's gay.
Basically, yeah.
Hey, love wins.
Oh my god. Hey, let's talk about.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying it needs to be subtle or anything. Unless, like, you're not like restricted in that way. If you're like, hey, I want my character to be gay or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like have like your gay romance as part of the story. There's nothing wrong with that. But man, it just feels like this when you see people getting hyped for Last of Us Part 2 because it's Last of Us Part 2, right? Mm-hmm. They're taking that hype and then they're gonna feed it into they're gonna sell it as people are excited for lesbians,
right?
And it's just I hate that. It just feels insincere.
It's incredibly insincere, yeah.
Yeah,
I just
it is ultimately a feel thing. Like we don't know the intentions of the creators, and if they say something, you can really only take their word for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sometimes these things feel exactly like pandering, and that's what this feels like.
Knowing Naughty Dog and knowing how they work, I can't help but feel like this is an entirely manufactured thing that they're doing here.
The thing is that if it was just in the game, that's whatever. But this is what you open your E3 conference with. Like, this is the first thing that you show of The Last of Us 2. It's that's not an accident.
Right. And
like the section of the game we chose to showcase, rather the cinematic section of the game, just happened to be the one that highlights our character's sexuality. Because you look at the gameplay quote unquote gameplay portion that came afterwards, and it's just completely disconnected. Like it wasn't a lead into that. It's not like that was the setup. You know why they chose that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, they made her ugly with a huge schnoz, so
it was very distracting.
Yes.
Like,
but it is what it is.
Don't bully.
So how do we parse Death Stranding now?
It's still, you can't. It's just that I think I was the most excited to see anything from Death Stranding. Let me tell the story, I suppose. So I was at work during the Sony conference, and I had downtime at work, but I couldn't just really sit there on a laptop watching the conference. So, but I really wanted to see Death Stranding. Like that was it. Like that's what I've been looking forward to. So I go to the bathroom. I just sit down on the stall, pull up the stream on my phone, and start watching. I'm like, this fucking sucks. What is this Last of Us bullshit? So I leave, and I'm like, let me know. I tell these guys, let me know when Death Stranding is on the screen. So I get a message, like, I don't know, 40 minutes later, sprint into the bathroom, pull out my headphones, turn on the stream, start watching. And of course, it's just fucking nothing. Like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it's just nothing. Like, there was ostensibly gameplay shown of the player character walking around hauling packages.
Of greatly increasing sizes and shapes.
Yeah, exponentially ridiculous packages.
Including Man.
Man was the best one. But like the stacks of boxes that look like they should just be teetering off each other, but are still held together, but still teeter. It was very silly for a number of reasons. But yeah, it's just walking around. And eventually they confirmed that there was gunplay, whatever that means. And at some point, somebody said that the game hinges on cooperation from players outside the game, like ARG-esque cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
And all this amounts to is more nothing. Like, no one knows anything about Death Stranding. Like, they keep putting out little plot nuggets. Those, have yet to be connected. Nuggets. They put out little gameplay nuggets. Those have amounted to very little. My interest is still incredibly piqued, but had they not shown up at E3, aside from the curiosity that would have developed, we would be basically no worse for wear.
Mm-hmm. And this game, it's open world.
Is it?
Oh, is it? I think it is, right?
I think that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I mean, the mountains look friggin' gorgeous in this game.
They're using the same game engine as Horizon. Like they just licensed it from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. If I'm not the sort of person who really even focuses on visuals that much, but gosh darn it, this looks amazing.
It does.
And also, I heard Guillermo del Toro on the radio here. Not like I don't mean I was listening to the radio and I heard Guillermo del Toro. I mean a demo. When Norman Reedus was on the radio, I heard Guillermo del Toro talk to him. I just found that funny. But does anyone even know what the gameplay is supposed to be like in this game?
No.
Well, you walk around.
Yeah, walk around, and sometimes there are evil tentacles that try to get you.
The only really decent theory I've heard, and it doesn't really explain what you're doing, moment to moment, but like the baby, the funky fetus that you carry around with you is a clone of you or something. Like that's the theory. And when you die, that's how you come back. Is the clone just ages into you again?
That's the best explanation of having extra lives that I've ever heard. Yeah, it's, I don't know. If I'm going to be completely honest, if Kojima wasn't making this game, I would probably have zero interest in it.
Really, it still probably would have piqued my interest. I think it looks. Very interesting.
It's of course interesting, just because of how unique and mystifying.
Always
it is.
unique.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting that no one other than Kojima could ever make this game.
Yeah,
that's true. But it's just I'd be a lot more willing to write it off, or I at least wouldn't be as excited if it wasn't Kojima.
I'm honestly kind of in the camp where I'm like at the point where it's like, okay, like you can stop being cryptic now. Can we get to the point of what the fuck this actually is gonna be?
I mean, they announced the game way too early, so cryptic's what you get.
Like, I'm just kind of tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it all the time and not knowing.
No, not even a release date.
The thing is that I'm of two minds on this. If to announce it so early and be cryptic for so long, that is frustrating and tiring. However, if the game eventually just kind of releases with the same amount of obfuscation around it, where the game just comes out and people still don't really know anything. Assuming that it's even possible for that to happen, I'd love that. Like if this game just dropped as a mystery.
If that happened, I would probably just not even buy it and just look up what the fuck it is.
I can't blame you. That's a very reasonable response.
Because the thing is, as much as I like Kojima and some of the stuff he does, God, is he a fucking hack in some ways? Like, and I can't help but not really trust him.
Yeah, this could all just be an excuse for him to hang out with celebrities.
Yeah. It's hard for me to really trust him at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, it's not like I'm in that camp who seems hell-bent on believing that Konami was in the right the whole time. For some reason. There's people like that who exist. But I mean, MGS4 was a thing that happened. Mr. and Mrs. Smith was the thing that happened. MGS4.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a marked decline in Kojima's output, right?
Right.
At least in some perspectives, because Metal Gear 5 obviously had really great gameplay, but was lacking in other areas, and and you can kind of say the same about Peace Walker. And actually, I guess Metal Gear Solid 4 too. For a series that started and got notable for its cinematic elements, the pendulum has really swung in the other direction.
Yeah.
So now seeing him ostensibly try to return to the other side with Death Stranding, because obviously all we know about it is not on the gameplay side of things. It'll be interesting to see if he can kind of stick that landing.
Yeah, like I'm still interested in it. I'm tired of seeing it over and over again and not knowing what the fuck it is or what anything means, because it's just cryptic nonsense to me. Is just cryptic nonsense.
I guess we'll find out when the game comes out.
Whenever that is.
That feels like that's the way it's going.
Cinematic cover shooter, baby.
Oh God!
It's probably what it's gonna be.
I would lose all faith in humanity at that point, which is a very cliche thing to say, but come on, that would be.
That's
awesome.
The thing, though. I can't help but feel like it's just gonna be a shooter.
He did pull out a gun at one point.
What if Norman Reedus had a gun?
To be fair, though, one thing I kind of forgot about. So remember the PT? That had a lot of good things, good ideas going on in it for what it was.
It did, yeah.
And with the complete creative freedom allotted to Kojima in this game, we might see something more in line with that, which I would be down for.
Yeah, that would be. I'd be interested in that. We'll see.
You got Del Taco involved. The gang's back together. Reedus.
But is Ito involved still?
Probably not.
Wow.
Oh, Kenny's on Skype. Get him in here. He loves Death Stranding.
Kenny love Death Stranding.
Yeah. All in all, Death Stranding is still my most anticipated title. But it's almost just in spite of itself.
Yep, I can see that. Still waiting.
They
actually did show off real gameplay, theoretically, of both Ghosts of Tsushima and Spider-Man, which look pretty cool.
Yeah, Ghosts of Tsushima did look cool. It was again. There's certainly there are no sticklers when it comes to visuals here. It looked gorgeous.
It did. It looked fucking amazing.
Yeah. But man, I'm not quite won over on this yet. And I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it today. As of right now, I am more likely to buy Mario Party at full price than I am to buy Ghost of Tsushima at half.
Oh my god!
Because at least with like Mario Party, I've got like a guarantee. You know, I could play that with friends. You know,
it's a guarantee you're getting a Mario Party game.
Yeah.
Take that as you will.
With Ghost of Tsushima, I'm still unsure about this thing. Like, apparently it's another open world game. Okay, I can.
But it's also an open world.
I can dig it.
Samurai game.
Yeah,
which...
open world samurai game. Okay, that's unique. I'm feeling it. Combat doesn't even look bad. It looks actually pretty interesting. I'm not sure if it's gonna be Bam Ham. It might be. Like, people were calling it Bam Ham Samurai and then Bam Ham Spider back to back. But it looks like there's like a little parry system to it. Like, you can end fights really quickly. Maybe there's going to be a dismemberment system. Who knows? Maybe you can just cut people up as soon as you get any kind of opening, like one strike kills. I'm kind of interested to see more of this one. I really want to see like a Breath of the Wild kind of detailed showcase of it. Yeah. Like hours and hours of footage I can comb over of it.
Well, when they announced this new format to the press conference, I thought that was what it was gonna be with these games, like their big 4 games. Like, I expected, maybe not to the same extent, but like when they talked about doing a deep dive, like Smash Brothers was a deep fucking dive into that game, and I wasn't expecting that much detail, but I was expecting more to these games than what they showed. Mm-hmm. But there wasn't anything that turned me off, and in fact, I am much more interested than I was before. It is tentative. Yeah, I'm with you, Collin. It's there's room to fuck this up, but I still think it was a pretty good showing.
Yeah, it was a solid show. Sorry, I playing a video game.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked fine, but when I walked away from it, my interest was the only thing that piqued my interest was how little my interest was piqued. And I was just kind of curious about that. Like, I didn't see anything all that impressive from Ghost of Tsushima. And I just wanted to see more.
Well, wait till next year.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to wait another year for it, huh?
At least we won't have to wait another year for Spider-Man, because that is actually coming out in like 3 months. Like, their only big game that they showed that's coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks really good, honestly. Yeah. This is finally the game that Spider-Man deserves.
What about Spider-Man 2, the movie?
That was good for what it was, especially at that time. Like, it was pretty impressive, considering like the open world genre was very new then, and that they would pull off something like that for a movie license game. But like there has been room to do that, but bigger and better, and it just hasn't been done yet. So this is looking more and more like it's that.
The trailer at the C3 did kind of win me over, but it looked like a fun game.
Oh yeah, the trailer for this one was I thought was outstanding. I was seeing a lot because the past 2 showcases for this game left me kind of underwhelmed. You had that QTE ridden one, right?
Yeah.
Then was that actually the same one as the one where he's going around like sneaking and taking out the thugs? Was that the same?
Yeah, that was the same one.
Okay, all right. And then what was the first one? Did we even get?
The first one was just the reveal trailer.
Oh, okay. All right. So then last year's left me kind of underwhelmed. But this one was a lot more exciting. Like I said, it does look a lot like the combat does remind me a lot of the Arkham series, but it doesn't necessarily need to be deep. Like
in fact, I would say that fits Spider-Man better than Batman.
Well, yeah, if you're going to be flying around the arena, yes, that would fit Spider-Man a lot more. Especially what impressed me a lot more, if I want to get away from the Batman comparison here, is that there was a lot of environment interaction. in what you could do with the combat, and especially with the web slinging and stuff. Like it definitely looked like a lot of fun. I think what I'm concerned about is how much motion blur there is, and I'm totally serious when I say that, because Insomniac has kind of gone a little out of control with the motion blur. I was watching like a 15-minute demonstration of it, where it's just going around the city, right? It was like the Shocker gameplay demo. Did anyone see this? Did anyone watch this?
No.
No.
Okay, well,
I watched. Say the Shocker, so you've caught my.
I watched.
Attention.
Yeah, I watched up through the boss fight with Shocker, and then when he's standing still, this game looks gorgeous, and when he starts moving, when he starts swinging, oh, it's just nauseating. It looks terrible. It's actually a big concern for me for this game, that I'm going to be constantly swinging around the city, and it's just going to be just like a gross blur. And I would have taken that graphics hit if it meant 60 frames per second swinging around the city, and less motion blur. But that aside, yeah, I do agree with you, Steve, that this game is looking pretty tight. Besides that, it's looking like it's got a lot of nice little details for like the animations and whatnot. It's looking like the environments are huge. Like you have these like great little playgrounds to interact with, in terms of like little creative shit you can get done during combat. I'm hoping the boss fights are a little bit more exciting than what I saw from Shocker. I know Shocker was an optional boss. It looked like. But it looked a little on the blasé side. I'm really hoping this game is a more than a pretty face. But yeah, tentatively excited for Spider-Man. Really, really, really want this game to be good.
You and me both.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Hey.
Just you.
Okay.
I don't have much else. It looks like it might be good.
Other than that, they announced Neo 2. They announced Resident Evil 2. I don't know if any of you are excited for either of those games.
I mean,
Resident Evil 2 has been out for 20 fucking years.
I mean, yeah, a remake of Resident Evil 2 was something that people were clamoring for a while. So it's exciting for a lot of people. Maybe not us, but a lot of people have been talking about it. And, you know, it looks good. It's over the shoulder. I've seen bits and pieces of it, like clips of it, and the gore effects are really cool. There's a lot of really nasty gore effects. Like there's one where a guy like shoots a zombie with a shotgun, and it like blows off only half of his head, so the other half is just kind of there. And it just looks very detailed and nice, which is good.
Sounds like it'll make everyone happy except for those weirdos who just want the tank controls.
Now, what if it came with the tank control mode?
What?
Like, it had an option to enable tank controls.
Why would anyone ever want to do that? They're so bad.
What if they had a joke where Leon looks at a tank in one scene and he says, "Not in a million years."
Is it going to be the same Leon voice actor that we've come to know?
Who is Leon's voice actor?
I don't know.
John St. John.
Don't ask me. I don't play Resident Evil.
Oh my god.
Yeah. How would I know that?
I don't know. You know these things.
Big smelly Willy.
Yeah, other than that, it was kind of a, not a great conference. I was expecting a lot more from them, especially after Microsoft. So.
It is... Let's see. Paul Haddad, Paul Mercier, Matthew Mercer.
He's had many different voice actors.
Oh.
Yeah, he's had several. I don't know who he is now, but he
doesn't even know who he is.
Oh my god.
So here's the real question. Now that we've gotten through every relevant conference, who won E3?
Uh-huh. I mean, if it ended at that day, I would definitely say Microsoft. In fact, I would still say it's Microsoft, even knowing what comes after. But
spoilers.
You asked the question now. I gave you the answer.
I did it as a segue.
You can't segue yet because we have to take one final break.
Oh my
god. Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll be right back with the Smash Brothers Direct talk.
How do I bother?
Welcome back one last time. This is our E3 podcast. We're going to talk about Nintendo. Oh, Nintendo. So at the time, like, once that Direct finished, I was feeling pretty good about them. Largely because I like Smash Brothers, and that's about the only way you could feel good about what they showed, because it was pretty much all Smash Brothers. But it's really disappointing that they didn't have more to show this year. Where was Pikmin? Where was Animal Crossing? Where was Retro?
Pikmin?
Where was Yoshi? Like, I know he committed tax fraud, but they could have still showed his game. Like,
well, Yoshi was delayed to 2019.
They announced that after, yes, but like they've showed that game before. They could show more things, but they didn't show it. We got Fire Emblem, we got Super Mario Party, and we got Smash Brothers, and that mech game, which isn't Nintendo, but and then Fortnite and a lot of other stuff that we already knew was coming or got leaked, but. This was pretty much you're here for Smash Brothers.
They seem to be relying heavily on the third-party stuff this year.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's nice that they're getting games again. But at the end of the day, you come to Nintendo consoles for Nintendo games, and this feels like a very weak year. Like, this first half of the year has just largely been ports, and then Kirby and Mario Tennis. And then the back half of the year is more ports, and then Smash Brothers and a very, very not looking good Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And Smash Brothers isn't out till December, so it's a little rough. Like, this is kind of a weak year to follow up one of their best years ever last year with all those great games we got.
Don't forget Nintendo Labo.
I did forget about it, honestly.
It just feels really weird. It feels like somewhere in middle management, like someone there just wasn't taking their job seriously, because they should have some, like, it seems like they had a lot of eggs in their basket going in here. I was not expecting much of anything from Prime 4 at this E3.
No.
But I was at least expecting some kind of update on fucking Yoshi.
Yeah. And, like, where the fuck is Retro Studios? Like,
yeah, Retro Studios has been MIA.
It feels like that studio's in serious trouble just because we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like where are these IPs? Mm-hmm. Like, where you've got Pikmin, you've got F-Zero, you've got
Animal Crossing is the big one that I can't figure out how they have not announced that yet.
Punch-Out's been gone for 10 years. Kid Icarus, like, no one wants to even like, the only reason why that's not been picked up is because no one wants to touch it. People have been people think about how long people waited for a Luigi's Mansion 2, and then now how long we've been waiting for a Luigi's Mansion 3. And there's been demand for that game.
But it said it's getting a port of the first game on the 3DS, which I feel like that's why we haven't seen some of these smaller games, is they still have studios working on the 3DS. Instead of just consolidating everyone onto the Switch, which is what they need to do, like, now.
Yeah. And then you've got, and I bring this up again, but, Star Fox, now is the time. This you've got another shot here. Like, the Wii U was a bomb. We don't need to remember Star Fox Zero.
And hey, if that retro Star Fox racing game is real, it would have been nice to at least announce it.
Yes, yeah.
Like, you don't even have to show the game. Just, like, I know their thing this year was we're just focusing on 2018 games. But, A, they said that last year, and then they showed fucking Metroid Prime 4, and then B, they still showed 2019 games in this conference. Like, they showed Fire Emblem, which doesn't come out till next year.
Yeah, and then let's see. While I'm on this, wait, the last Wario Land was 10 years ago.
Yeah, but we're getting WarioWare on the 3DS.
Yeah, we're getting WarioWare. So it feels like I don't know. Are Nintendo's only like competent, reliable developers right now in EAD, Monolith, and then Intelligent Systems putting out like consistent work right now? And then I was thinking about this. Because the Microsoft conference, right? They show all these studios that they're buying up, right?
Like Ninja Theory.
And Nintendo is like a $1 billion company on the upswing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know shit about business, all right? But it feels like they can't be content to rest on their laurels right now. They should be out there maybe buying up some people. Cuz their game output always seems they have these lulls. Let's plug up these holes here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And before it made sense cuz like they have gone in cycles where they had a big like Wii U year but a weak 3DS year, and then they would flip because they would focus studios one way or the other. They really should have just went all in on the Wii U once they had, and like once they knew that this thing was going to be big, which was shortly after launch because that thing blew up like crazy. Like they should have just started focusing everyone on the system, and it would still be a year out from that, but they could have still started announcing stuff at this year's E3, like they did with Metroid last year. Like, it's fine if you just tell us it's coming because we know you're good for it.
Yeah, and I'm hearing reports that people are experiencing frame drops on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Are you fucking serious? Are you for real? How is Game Freak this incompetent? Where's the quality control? Like, again, EAD has insane quality control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're known for this.
I mean, the Pokemon games usually are quality. Like, they're not technical messes. Like, the 3DS, the 3D caused problems with the last generation. But, even then, like, it's such a casual game, like, even for Pokemon, that it's just like, what are you doing with this game? Like, it really feels just like a... Well, I mean, I don't want to say an afterthought because they're definitely thinking about how much fucking money this thing's going to make, because it is. This is a COD situation. This is an Infinite Warfare situation where every fan is saying like this is a piece of shit, right? Online, everybody online is just saying like this is garbage, and then it's going to sell millions. Yep. I wonder how quickly they've put that game together, because. That's not the game they announced last E3. Like, that's still the one that's coming next year. So this feels like a very quick project that they put together. So
and I'm even thinking like, man, just put out some budget titles for these second stringers. Mm-hmm. Nintendo has second stringers that have been on the back burner for ages.
Does Treasure still exist?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know what they do, but I think they still exist.
Hey, how about this? Just say fuck it. Release Wario World 2. I love Wario World. Let's make a Wario World 2. Who even cares?
But
just
yeah,
have
that's
them put
like that period in the GameCube when they were just trying shit like that. Like there should be more of that. And like they just but then like they just released Shusy Striker, which is a new IP for them, but also you totally misread the market and released it as like $50 and no one's buying it because of that. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most Nintendo move ever.
Yeah.
There is that Project Octopath Traveler game.
Yeah, that's obviously a Square game.
Yeah.
It's not like there aren't games coming this year, but
yeah, I'm excited for that one. Yeah, it's just you wonder what's even going on.
They just have horrible scheduling with their projects, I think.
Probably.
It's happened before. Like I said, it went in cycles with their other systems, but now it's just everyone needs to be on the same page. But At least Smash Brothers looks really good. Everyone's back.
Yeah, it does.
See, that's your little transition there. It was cute.
Thank you, Collin. So,
Yes.
everyone is here except for Waluigi.
Just because you try hard doesn't mean you're gonna make it.
Oh man. I mean, I started laughing maniacally when I saw Waluigi get blown the fuck out.
I am honest. I can honestly say that I'm very happy that Waluigi is not a character in this game.
I can't say that like I'm happy about it or anything because I wasn't like pulling for him or anything. Like
I hate this meme at this point.
I said on the last
Waluigi.
podcast, like I said on the last podcast, like I think I don't really care for him as like, oh, he needs to be in Smash Brothers or anything, but I mean he's a funny character. People like him. If they felt like the demand was big enough, like I wouldn't mind him being in the game. But gosh darn it, just seeing him get wrecked was just so great.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, seeing him like if he had gotten, like I said, like if he had gotten in, I just imagine all the people imagining like saying that it was his just due. Like at long last, Waluigi is in Smash Brothers.
The thing is, you gotta have at least 2 games of people shitposting before you get in, like Ridley. Like people didn't blow up, like, you know, when Waluigi was confirmed as an assist trophy in Brawl, like there were some people who, you know, grumbled about it, but it wasn't a big deal. It was really only with the last game that it started picking up, and now it's full swing. So I think, like, they obviously listened to us because of Ridley. So I expect I wouldn't be surprised, anyways, if Waluigi was in the next game. But Ridley is absolutely in this one.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god.
I always had a little bit of hope for him. I kept a candle lit.
I honestly never believed it would happen.
You never believed it would happen?
No.
I mean, on the last podcast, I was talking about it, how like proportionally he'd be tough to do, right? Because Samus is one of the taller members of the cast.
I mean, I still do think, looking at it, like
no, and that's still true.
Yes,
that's still true. I think like they had to make a compromise to get him in there. I totally accept that compromise though because Ridley is fucking cool. Look at him. This is his coolest design, I think.
I honestly like Meta Ridley better, but
well, guess what? Meta Ridley's in the game, baby. So it's just that it takes his super sprite and also kind of his zero mission look as well, and it just interprets that and like frees it up because obviously like when you're a sprite you're limited in what your animations can do, and it just it just like gives him this vicious personality to all his movements that I just love. He looks so good. If he wasn't like as small as he was, like now Ridley's too small, but if he wasn't as small as he was, this would be his best look that I've ever seen. And
it's funny you mentioned the podcast we did, because not once did we ever float the idea that all the characters could be coming back. Like, all that discussion we had about who's getting cut and who's staying was a complete waste of time.
Yeah, I guess.
But
it was fun, but ultimately it's like, wow.
To be fair, who would ever think that they would ever bring back both Young and Toon Link and Pichu?
I may have thought that they'd bring back Pichu just as a joke, but no, I never would have thought Young Link. Fucking Young Link.
I mean, I honestly do think this was the best direction this game could take. Like,
yeah.
At some like probably the next game. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but probably the next game is the one you maybe like do a quote unquote reboot and just like cut the cast in half and start all over or something. But like just having everyone in there for one game, the ultimate game.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to get a lot of newcomers, probably not till DLC anyways, but I mean, this is the one time I think I'd be fine with that, just because there's so much in here.
Yeah, and it's tough to like kind of quantify how much work went in to doing all this, because he says like, oh, you know, putting every fighter ever in here was a whole lot of work, so don't expect too many newcomers. And I'm thinking, okay, look, I know a lot of assets are getting reused here. How much work was it really to get young Link and Pichu in here?
I mean, like, to the extent that they don't have to design them from scratch, they skip that step. But I mean, they still have to build the character and rig the character and do all that kind of stuff for it. So, I mean, it takes a lot of work. And I don't believe this is entirely... Like, it's not a port of the Wii U game.
No, it's
for
not.
anyone who says that, shut the fuck up, you're wrong.
But the Wii U game reused a lot of Brawl assets, and now this one's reusing a lot of Wii U assets.
It absolutely does build off that, which is why it's such a quick turnaround relatively compared to what this series normally has. So
yeah, and I think maybe it's not realistic to expect, but I think it's realistic to demand 8 newcomers, 8 totally new, unique newcomers at launch for this game, because that's how many Melee had with a 1-year development cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're looking. Well, I mean, are you including Echo fighters in this? Because Melee.
No. I'm saying 8 totally unique characters at launch.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And then Echo, maybe some Echo fighters as well. Shadow, baby. Nobody saw his assist trophy. Knuckles is in as the assist trophy.
You know who?
Better hunker down for that one.
You know who you also didn't see as an assist trophy?
Ashley.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, it's all been duly noted.
What if Ashley's in as a Wario Echo fighter?
Oh God.
Please, no.
There'd be a lot of people very, very upset, which would be great.
There would be a lot of people. Well, I mean, that would only further the rap posting.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but Matt picked up the torch for me here. Damn it all. Give me a noose.
Like the only question there is who the hell would they add? I mean, I guess the one of the big ones is K. Rool. But
yeah, K. Rool is a big one, and he's aware of K. Rool demand, obviously, because they put in that K. Rool costume after the ballot.
There is Gino as well, but that would be a whole can of beans that they would have to open with Square.
Yeah, this. Well, I mean, they got Cloud in there.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the ballot is going to inform on this a lot, and we don't really know who performed well exactly, because we don't know the ballot results, because all we know is realizable fighters.
God, Goku. I mean, technically, Goku could be in.
Yeah, they could do Goku. If
they really want to go down that route.
Yeah, it wouldn't actually be that hard to get him, honestly. Who else here? I was just. Yeah, they could do Funky Kong, huh? Funky Kong is a DK Echo.
Funky new character.
What about Dixie Kong?
As a Diddy Echo, or as just her own character?
Either, I guess.
I feel like, I mean, K. Rool is definitely the one with the most demand. And I get it, he's not relevant to his own franchise at this moment. Because he hasn't made an appearance since Mario's Superstar Sluggers. Or whatever. And he hasn't made an appearance in a DK game since Barrel Blast, I think. But it might just be at that point where if there's demand for it, you might as well meet it. And K. Rool is the much more hype character than Dixie, and they've got to be aware of that. And it's probably just going to come down to, like, do we think K. Rool will appear again after this? And that's going to be what cinches whether or not he gets in.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll just do him as a DLC character, because who the fuck cares at that point?
Yeah, I feel like, and that's another fear with me here, is that I feel like we're being eased into a lot of DLC character stuff, like accepting like an overabundance of nickel and diming DLC characters.
Maybe, but like when you consider that other fighting games do that with like a third of the roster Smash Brothers has, if that, like. I get that.
You're
like,
saying it's okay when Nintendo does it.
It is okay when Nintendo does it. But it's like, when you already have like 65 characters announced already, it's like how many more could you realistically want?
Yeah, for me, Ridley was the very last character needed to just fill in all little holes we had in the roster here.
But what about the second F-Zero character?
Nope, I don't think another F-Zero character is needed.
I actually agree, sadly enough, because this franchise is dead.
Yeah.
It's never coming back.
Sorry. Let's talk about the gameplay. You guys want to talk about the gameplay?
Well, you're the expert here, so why
I'm
don't
gonna
you
go take a nap while Collin covers this.
Is it okay? Is this finally the game that defeats Melee forever? Banishes it to the Shadow Realm. Please.
Well, I mean, Melee is always going to be a thing because
yes,
Melee
we know
fans
autistic
are never going to
Square-Lord
abandon
fan
Melee.
base.
Well, look. I'm seeing a lot of. I don't want to say it's outright pandering, but they know esports is hot shit right now. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot of the commentators saying, "Oh man, it's so fast, it's so aggressive now. You can't be defensive in this game anymore." And then I'm watching Zero and Leffen go at it on stream, and they're still doing that same stuff they did and maybe it's a new game, so maybe they're just getting into the rhythm of it, right? They're still in Smash 4 mode, and Leffen's a Melee player, but he knows how to play Smash 4 too, obviously. But they're still running right up to each other, and their first choice is to shield. And that's a little concerning for me. I feel like the speed that I'm seeing is almost cosmetic. Characters are flying away super fast, right? But they almost start flying away too soon. There's not enough you can do after hitting someone in this game. They go flying, and then they just screech to a halt really far away. And these blast zones are so far that there's this dead time in between the characters clashing again. And that really shouldn't be there. You've got to reduce both to fix the problem, because if you just reduce the blast zones, then characters are dying too early with too little effort. Like, they're getting hit, knocked away way too far, way too fast, and then they're just out. So if you want to see anything like interesting, like combo game and shit like that, you're going to have to reduce the knockback, and you're going to have to reduce the blast zones. And for the love of God, reduce how often the smoke clouds appear, because that is really annoying. And everything else with the UI in this game looks really great, but gosh darn, those smoke clouds look just, I can't take them. They're too many. There are too many smoke clouds, like every time you get hit. Momentum doesn't seem to carry into jumps still, which is really disappointing for me. A lot of people hate ledge trumping, which is that's the Smash 4 ledge mechanics. I don't mind those at all. I don't mind backwards ledge grabbing. I don't mind ledge trumping in comparison to ledge hogging. I think they're both different flavors of problematic. I really just want to see people go off stage more often rather than just wait for people to come back.
Are you in favor of more or less dink outs?
What's a dink out? Is it dink out?
Tell me made up fucking shit. Don't worry about it.
Is this are these fake terms that people
yeah
players?
Yeah.
So directional air dodge I like that coming back, because the other air dodge just feels so limp. Ugh. I hate the way it feels even when it's successful. With the directional air dodge, it does feel like a little bit like it puts a little momentum into it. Like, where's he gonna go, right? With the other air dodge, it's just, oh, he's still falling. So I think that puts a little bit more control back into the player's hands for where momentum goes. Guys, like I said on the last podcast, I've never wave dashed in my life. I don't care about wave dashing. It's not what makes a game competitive. even melee fags know that wave dashing is not necessary to making this game competitive, but I feel the need to note it anyway because someone was going to ask about it. So I don't care that wave dashing is not in the game. I really don't care that L canceling is not in the game. I don't think anyone does because L canceling is just one of those mechanics where there's no reason not to do it. So it's just a dumb input barrier. You would always have to L cancel if L canceling was in the game. Right. Just reduce the landing lag on aerials, which apparently they've done. That's what it looks like. If you've seen the web of Ganondorf naring over and over.
Oh
again.
yeah, I've seen that. And he's like crazy fast.
Yeah, so that's good. That stuff is good. Ground speed's faster. Airspeed's still kind of slow, which is a little disappointing because again, I want to see more offstage play. So I'm still. I think the jury is still out on whether or not this will play like Smash 4.5. It seems like it's a lot closer to Smash 4, obviously. But yes, they do. It seems like unlike the previous games, there is a genuine effort to make this one appear competitive.
They did say that they are like legitimately trying to make this a competitive game.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Esports is hot shit right now. Overwatch is casual baby garbage, but it's competitive, right?
Right.
Even us at our level, we're competitive when playing that game, and that's they see the money in that. And maybe I don't know. I'm not sure there's any butting heads going on behind the scenes with that, and like what the vision is for the game. But that's how they kind of want to sell it right now. They've got all the pro Smash autists in there actually giving feedback directly to the developers right now, and that's pretty huge. Whether or not they take any of it, we'll see. I think the biggest thing for me for this game, for me to play it for a long time, because I enjoyed Smash 4, but it didn't stick with me, right?
No.
I think that what'll do it for this game, momentum when you're running, momentum but in your jumps from when you're running. That's all I need. That's all I want. That'll make the game feel so much better as a platform fighter if I'm platforming and I have momentum in my jumps. That's so much more. That just feels way better. That's perfect. What else? Is there anything else I was thinking of? I like the new perfect shield animation, dropping the shield. If you really want to fix defensive play, and this is not drawing from any Smash game here, but make the shield recovery time really slow unless they get hits in. Like they need to go and hit the opponent to recharge their shield faster.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's how you kill shield play.
And they are at least apparently like rolling was an issue in 4.
Yes, rolling was a big issue and reducing
which they have solved in this game. It looks like
one of the coolest things they added in this game is being able to smash attack out of a dash attack.
Oh yeah,
or out of your running animation, and that's awesome because in Smash 4 and Brawl, I guess the only thing you could do out of running was just your dash attack. And just having that other option, having 4 or 3 other options there to work with, that opens up a ton with the game. And again, I don't play competitively. I play with items all the time. My favorite stages are the ones that are would be considered tournament banned, but they don't have any hazards. So I liked Suzaku Castle. I liked Pilot Wings. Those stages.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to not just having the battlefield stages, that's nice, but being able to just toggle the hazards in general, that's great.
Oh yeah, that's a really cool addition as well.
I want to play Wily's Castle without the Yellow Devil.
Yeah.
I want to play Magic Ant without the Birdman. I don't want to play Big Blue without the cars, because Big Blue is great, and I will play Big Blue any day of the week. I fucking love that stage. And I don't want to play Saffron City without the Pokemon, because what's the goddamn point? But Pyrosphere, boys, is not coming back. And it can fucking taste it.
What is Pyrosphere?
Pyrosphere is the stage with Ridley.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and can I just note this? I'm sorry, I'm going off on Smash.
What?
I'm sorry, guys.
We all expected this.
People need to stop taking assist trophies as insults. Okay? Bomberman being an assist trophy is not a slap in the face to Bomberman.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, I was not expecting Bomberman to be in a Smash game, and there he is.
It's great that Bomberman is here to begin with, along with Snake, because Konami.
Right.
I would love. I'd be over the moon if Wonder Red got to be a playable character. But you know what? I would be elated if Wonder Red just got an assist trophy, because his game is a fucking bomb.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I would love a Wonder Red assist
trophy.
Because I was just remembering, like, when people got all pissed, like, they were all devastated that Ridley was a boss or a stage hazard in the last game.
Oh yeah.
You know, he did all that for Ridley as like a gesture of kindness to his fans, honestly.
Right, because he couldn't get it to work.
Yeah, to make him feel more involved in the game. I think maybe Waluigi was a intentional slap in the face. Maybe Waluigi was, but I'll give him that because fuck Waluigi. Fuck all of you who think he's like important. You do like Waluigi insincerely. You just forgot.
No, I love Waluigi sincerely.
Yeah, Collin, speak for yourself.
That's because I think somebody made a comment like we feel fans like Waluigi insincerely. They're right. Nobody likes Waluigi sincerely. It's just that maybe there's nothing wrong with liking Waluigi ironically, right? That post-ironic enjoyment of Waluigi. But Nintendo's not at that point yet, okay?
No.
So just breathe easy. Give them time. Maybe someday, okay? But for now, fuck Waluigi. And fuck you for thinking you like him genuinely.
I do.
I
was there since the beginning in Mario Tennis N64.
Listen, he's a funny meme man, okay?
He's a funnier character
than
we
the
ever had
term
before.
meme was even a thing.
Listen,
Listen to me.
can't just be a Waluigi hits the podcast, the whole podcast, okay?
Collin refuses to acknowledge that people like Waluigi.
No, I refuse. No, I like Waluigi, okay?
Collin.
But I like him in a post-ironic way because he's a funny meme.
It's post-irony now.
Yeah.
Collin.
Yeah.
Do you know what time it is?
What? Waluigi
time?
Yeah.
Collin, can you give us your best Wah?
That's how you learn to like Waluigi, though.
That's the thing, though. Like all the love for Waluigi feels like it mostly stems from like Brawl in the Family.
But I was there before all that. I remember getting I had a subscription to Nintendo Power, and I remember getting the issue where it talked about how he was a new character in Mario Tennis, and thinking, wow, this guy looks fucking lame, and that's kind of cool. They even went to the trouble of explaining the joke of his name, and how they didn't just put Wa in front of Luigi. It's actually a corruption of the Japanese word for evil or whatever.
Right.
Which is totally a lame cop-out, because they just totally put Wa in front of Luigi.
Let me ask a question here. How come in Mario Party 1, or maybe 3, why does Wario say, "Oh, I missed"?
That's actually not what he says. He says something in German.
No way.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Google right now. Google Wario. Oh, I missed, and see what comes up.
Oh, I missed. Here's the first link to a YouTube video called "Do I Missed."
Okay, click on that. Read the comments.
All right, hold on.
Wait, Wario is supposed to be German this whole time?
All right, let's see. Comments. There are no comments.
What do you mean there are no comments?
I mean, the video has not been commented on.
That's not true.
What do you want from me? All right, I'll check another one. Hold on.
Oh wow, it's actually true.
This video does not have comments.
Do you just have comments turned off?
I don't have comments turned off. Can you survive Wario saying "Doe I missed" for 1 hour and 5 seconds? Hold on. All right, I doubt all these videos have 0 comments. Maybe I do have them turned off, but I don't recall doing that. Oh, here they are. All right, so here's one saying, "So I missed."
Yes.
What does that mean?
It roughly translates to "all darn." Or
you know, I think that's just a coincidence.
Let's see here.
No, it's legit.
The concept behind Wario was that of a German character, and those responsible for the voiceovers at Nintendo back then intended him to speak German.
The quote comes from Wario and American copies of Mario Party. Wait, what? What fucking wiki is this? Why is this on the Chugga Convoy, Ricky? Why is there a Chugga Convoy,
There's
Ricky?
no greater authority on Wario.
Is that true?
Fuck if I know.
Collin, can we get an "Oh, I missed"?
No.
So I missed.
No.
Why not?
You get nothing. You
I
lose.
want it. Don't hold out on
So
me.
when are we getting a competitive Super Mario Party League, Collin?
Well, that's the thing of it. In Mario Party, and I'm going to spurg out on you because you've made this comment now. In Mario Party, all the characters have the same kits, so obviously you need that randomness to make things interesting.
He's talking about Mario Party kits now.
Yeah, well, sorry, everyone plays the same, right?
Do you get to
same with
spec
Mario Kart.
Do you get to spec your Mario Party tune in this game?
God, I hope so. Are we talking about Mario Party now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this one actually looks fun.
Oh,
This might be the first time. This might be the first time I have fun with a Mario Party, a new Mario Party, since I don't know 7. And 7 had the dumb mic mini games that I never played.
7 was
your mini games, Funk.
wait, my mini games? Oh, Kill yourself.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play with each other unless it's just mini games. So Mario Party remains a couch party thing.
Do you have many people over for Mario Party parties, Collin?
Not specifically Mario Party parties, but there's like a get together, and it's things are winding down. It's like, hey, you guys want to bust out fucking Mario Party? That's the thing of it, because, I only got really one friend who can play Smash with me. But my other friends, they can play Mario Kart and Mario Party just fine.
The last time I played Mario Party with somebody, Frank and DL lied to me about what would happen when buying a star.
The best part is that they said it on stream when you walked out of the room, so we all knew it was coming.
I was a fool to trust my friends.
Oh, man.
So, if I had to describe Nintendo's E3 press conference in one phrase, I would say, "Oh, I missed."
Yeah, they missed the mark just a bit. They did not win E3 this year.
No,
I'm sad.
It was. I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was just Smash.
Yeah.
It was just Smash, but I mean, I don't know.
It's like that year they came with just Zelda, which you understood because the Wii U was dying, and that's all they had to show. But like, there's really no excuse when you have like the best selling system out there. You gotta have something more than this.
What does it say about me if I'm legitimately excited that you can play as a Goomba in Mario Party?
Are you transitioning from a Shy Guy to a Goomba?
No, I mean, no.
Oh man, wow, he was quick on the draw there. Man.
I mean, Shy Guy is still my guy, but I mean, I don't know. I just Goomba's just been getting the shaft for so long. He's just been that guy who you stomp on.
Goomba for Smash?
That would be a great surprise character.
That would be pretty funny. I don't know what he would do.
What would be his upwaggle move?
Upwaggle.
So, who won E3?
Oh wait! Are we doing the awards?
I guess so.
Oh. I guess we have to do the Collin awards that he gave us.
Yeah, no, we don't have to do the awards.
No, you should do them.
I don't have them prepared. I have them.
Okay.
I have them.
Oh, you do?
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, then
You
that
get
don't
Collin's
I
homework for him?
I mean, I have the list. I don't have them made.
Oh, okay. Never. We have all the list of like the awards.
Oh, we all have the list.
No, we do. We do.
Oh, we all have the list.
No, yeah. Forget about it. Just who won E3?
This is a difficult one.
Is it?
I kind of think so. God. I mean, I guess.
Can we do a full ranking?
Huh?
Can we do a full ranking?
Sure.
Like beyond the top 3?
Someone else go first. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll go first. So at the very bottom of my ranking are the conferences I did not watch. So EA, Ubisoft, Square. I believe that's it. They're all tied for worst in show. Then moving up, number 3, Sony. Number 2, Nintendo. Number 1, Microsoft. Number 0, any of the ones I forgot because I feel like I'm missing one. Bethesda was also
gaming
0.
show.
That was also worst in show.
We didn't talk about Devolver Digital, and they announced the best game of E3.
Oh yeah,
Chaos XD.
We didn't talk about Devolver Digital. Completely memeing on E3
Again.
once again with Loot Box Crate.
Loot box coin.
Coin, I'm sorry. Loot Box Coin.
So is that like a Bitcoin loot box parody?
Yeah.
It's real and it has no value, but you can buy it for $150.
Yeah,
That's great.
They also shit on the concept of Nintendo of Nintendo's whole like classic series.
As well they should.
Like NES Classic and SNES
where
Classic.
By the way, sorry. Well, we'll just save it for after the podcast.
Okay.
But where the fuck is the Virtual Console?
Yeah.
It's dead.
It's probably going to be coming when they...
Their online service is the new Virtual Console.
I mean, with the release of these mini consoles, the retro whatevers, why would they ever put the Virtual Console back?
Don't say that. Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't say that.
Here's the winners of E3. 1, Metal Wolf Chaos XD. 2, everyone else.
Oh wait, we're talking about games?
No. That game was their conference and it won.
Yeah, that game was pretty much just like their whole conference. And it was great. MakeAmericaGreatAgain.com.
I got so many people mad too.
I love the fact that
Did it really?
Yeah. Can you imagine watching something that fucking on the nose and then getting offended by that?
Like how dare they co-opt this racist slogan?
How can you watch something?
Whoa, jeez.
How can you watch something so utterly self-aware? By the way, that slogan is something that Ronald Reagan created, not Trump. But how can you watch something so self-aware and then lack completely like this, just have no self-awareness of what you're doing yourself? It's just baffling to me.
People are dumb and stupid.
Yeah.
Do we have any winners? Any other winners?
I guess I would say if I had to rank them, EA far down in the depths of the fucking, like, Jesus Christ. Like, that was probably the worst conference I've ever seen live.
That's pretty fucking bad.
Ubisoft, whatever. It wasn't like the worst thing ever, but I didn't care about anything they showed. I guess other than Beyond Good and Evil 2, kind of. Sony's show was not good, but it had some interesting things. I wish they didn't waste like an hour of my time with nothing. With two people playing instruments. And then I guess the rest would be just, you know, the ones who actually were good conferences, which would be Bethesda, Nintendo, and I guess I have to admit Microsoft probably won this one.
At long last, they were victorious.
Yeah, so I'm also of the opinion that Microsoft definitely had the best conference. Just overall, just nonstop games, stuff I'm actually looking forward to, and even stuff like, even though I wouldn't be able to play it, I'd want to play. Even had a couple of those games, which I wasn't expecting.
They even had a couple surprises in there.
Yes. So definitely Microsoft wins there. Nintendo, though, I'm biased, I guess, but just Ridley becoming a thing, that's huge for me. Just after like 12
I mean, it's
years.
Ridley, of course it's huge.
Yeah, of course. After like 12 years of wanting that and never getting it and almost giving up hope on it, gosh, that was pretty great. But definitely Microsoft was overall more exciting. I wouldn't even say Nintendo's, even though Sony's the presentation part of their presentation was horrible, they were still arguably better than Nintendo this year overall.
I don't know about that.
I mean, at least they brought more of their games, you know, like their A-list games. It wasn't necessarily stuff that interested me, but they definitely appealed to their demographic.
I guess.
But yeah, so I'd say EA at the bottom, and then Square, even though they were thankfully short, and then Ubisoft, and then Bethesda, and then Sony, Nintendo, and then Microsoft.
All right, I think that's an E3 in the books.
Oh wait, no, Steve, you already gave your opinion?
Yeah.
Oh,
Metal Wolf Chaos.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's the winner.
I'm just happy.
Wait, shouldn't we, before we close out, in light of new Smash Brothers, contact our resident Smash Brothers expert to give us their opinion?
Oh God. Oh no.
Oh no.
The Wave Dasher himself. Wave dashed his way into all of our hearts.
I thought you were gonna say Wave dashed his way into Olive Garden.
Oh no, not that expert. No, no, this is something far more sinister.
Oh God.
Are we ending this podcast on a cliffhanger?
He who shall not be named.
I'm gonna go home.
I'm just glad we live in a universe where Bayonetta and Devil May Cry coexist.
They didn't show Bayonetta.
Yeah, but it exists. It exists. In some
He does
form.
it.
They do exist.
She does it.
Yep.
We all exist.
Yep, it's him.
All right, guys, say goodbye to another E3 in the bag.
364 more days until E3.
You're not wrong. All right,
Fully
say goodbye,
unbacked.
everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.